something to fight for. Lay it on the line. Minutes of Union football. One play at a time, one situation at a time. When I say go, I want you to go like a bunch of crazed dogs. How do you want to be remembered?
And now, fans, get on your feet. And welcome your 9-time state champion, Union Redskins.
Coloring my own hair is easier. I no longer have to sit.
Thursday because I'd had a Friday.
Trust.
For the home
That's
week,
code
would have
TRUST.
been cruel, but
Try
yeah,
it.
I'm
Love
okay
it.
that it's Friday
That's the
too.
beauty of Madison Reed.
This is Union Redskins football.
Presented by TTCU Federal Credit Union.
Mike, we're likely going to come right into the middle of the national anthem.
In Oklahoma high school football, Union is on a mission for yet another championship this season. Hear every moment live on KRMG.com, the KRMG app, and always on News 102.3 KRMG. Now, the voice of Union Redskins football, KRMG's Rick Corey.
Good evening and welcome back to Union Tuttle Stadium near 71st and Mingo on the campus of Union High School, where tonight the 6-2 Union Redskins, #1 in the district, can clinch their district title against 2-6 Southmoore. The SaberCats struggling at 1-4 in district. I am Rick Corey, joined by Jeff Johns, and on the field we have our own Doc Blevins. Teams are lining up already for the national anthem, and it's one of the things I really like to see, Jeff. You've got Union standing there, helmet under their left arm, in a line, facing the flag. Nobody's going to kneel. Everybody's going to stand for the national anthem.
Absolutely. That's one of the things that they teach. It's one of the things they teach at Union High School is respect for the country, respect for your peer. So that and I think that's going to resonate with both sides this time.
We're going to get the national anthem right now as the teams line up here at Union Tuttle Stadium. Band is gathered in the far side of the stadium. And now the flags are marching their way out to the center. This is ROTC Day at Union. When you're here on a Friday to either do film study or to see coaches, you'll see a lot of kids going from place to place in their ROTC uniforms. And they are the folks who are now bringing the flags out right in the middle of the split U at the 50-yard line. The left half of that U is black. The right half is red. Of course, for Union's red, black, silver, and white. The Oklahoma flag on the right side being lowered, the American flag to the left. national anthem at Union Tuttle Stadium. Nothing better on a Friday night in Oklahoma than the national anthem and some high school football. Rick Corey again along with Jeff Johns and our own Doc Blevins during the week had a chance to sit down with the Union head football coach Kirk Frederick to ask him his keys to this game.
Time to check in with Union football head coach Kirk Frederick for Coach's Keys to the Game.
Brought to you by TTCU Federal and Matt McCoy State Farm.
Another week of a running quarterback, a lot like Putnam City North and Moore had a few weeks back, and does a really good job of carrying the football. I think he scored almost every point for him last week in a 35-point offensive performance. So running quarterback, they can also throw the ball down the field, but we definitely got to tackle better than we did last week.
And when they're on defense, what do you have to face there?
You know, a lot of athletes, they're going to be, in and out of gaps and those kinds of things. So we've got to stay fairly disciplined in our blocking schemes and obviously try to get the run game going and then set up the pass with that.
So again, as we said, this is a game that Union can clinch their district championship in. Teams now have the captains at midfield. Darius Boone is one of the captains. Nick Jones is one of the captains. Also out there, Elijah Tomlin for Union. And the other is just coming off an injury. It's Quentin Barnes, who's the captain for the Southmoore team. And the one thing, Jeff, when you look at Southmoore, the one thing they can do is defend the run. And it's really the last piece of Union's puzzle going into the playoffs that they really need to fix is to be able to run the ball consistently when they want to.
Absolutely, that's correct. Union's been working on that since about week 3, week 4. The theme has been really, improve that power run game. Just keep fighting through, get through your blocks, and establish the line of scrimmage. You want to be able to push your man that is across from you off of his mark, and make sure that your running backs at least getting to that second level every time. It's one of the things that Union has been doing very well, especially the last 3 weeks. And Southmoore, just as you said, they've been improving each of the last 3 weeks. So their level of competition has gone up and down. They've fought Owasso very closely. They fought Mustang pretty closely. And so they're coming in, and it's not a good season for them. But if you're looking for a bright spot for Southmoore, they're getting better.
But at this point, 2-6, it's not going to be good enough. And now the question tonight, when they have to come all the way across here to play Union, is how much do they want to play here tonight? Now, when it comes to what Union's focusing on tonight, because every week Kirk Frederick focuses on something different. This week, third down.
We really feel like third downs are a big deal. We think that we've had some good third down percentages offensively. We're about 67%, which is just outstanding. Last week, Peyton's throwing the ball very well. Defensively, we're very close. A couple of penalties have gotten us, given the team a first down. So our biggest issue, I think, is really trying to key in on those third down possessions.
Well, they're going to have a chance early on to see if they actually get to a third down possession. Southmoore won the toss and deferred. They'll be kicking off to Union. Kyler Pearson is going to go deep, and so is J.T. McLeod, and that's a dangerous combination to kick to either one of those guys. Cameron Little will be the guy who will kick off from left to right. Southmoore in their white uniforms. They've got dark blue, so dark, as a matter of fact, it looks like black from the press box. They've got black stripes, or those dark blue stripes with white on their pants. They've got a good-looking helmet, kind of a dark blue again. It says Cats on it in kind of a gold. Union tonight in a cool look. They're in the white pants and the white hats, and I love the white lid. And then they've got the red jersey, and that's what they're going to be wearing tonight. They'll be going from right to left. It'll be Southmoore kicking from left to right. 62 degrees as we get ready to get underway here tonight, and almost not a breath of wind. It could not be a better night for college football. Doc Blevins is on the sidelines. We'll get him in just a few minutes with our injury update. First of all, we're going to get this thing underway. Right now, Cameron Little is lining up as though he's just going to pop this thing up in the air and cause a free kick. We'll see. From the 40-yard line, Little checks his right, now checks his left. Hand up, here he approaches. And it is a pop-up, and it's going to be very short, and it's going to land around the 30-yard line. Union takes it there to the 32, 35-yard line, to the 40-yard line. Across the 40-yard line, one of the up-backs fielded that very cleanly without any problem at all. The guy who did that was Desmond McDaniels, a wide receiver. So that was a good guy to grab that one. It'll be 1st and 10 Union, and they'll already have tremendous field position. They'll mark it at the Union 42-yard line.
Now, one of the things that Union has been doing very well since the beginning of the season, really about week 3, week 4, is starting strong. That was Kirk's message going into Week 4 against Owasso, is make sure we hit the first quarter strong. Now, one of the things I want to see from Union is can they maintain that momentum throughout the course of the game. Third quarter last week against Norman North was a little shaky, so let's see how cohesive they can be here at the beginning.
Coming out in a very unique situation here. 4 wide receivers left side, JT McLeod in the backfield. Thompson's going to quickly throw to JT on the left side. He's got to outrun a man and does and gets across the 40, but not much more. That's great recovery by Southmoore. And one of the guys out there to make the tackle is Corbin Paget, who's going to be everywhere tonight. He comes into this thing with about 45 tackles. That's going to be a gain of only about 1. We're going to give him 1. We're going to say it's second down and 9.
It's a tough assignment, really weird. Like you were saying, 4 receivers out to one side, and they just don't make their blocks. Guy gets outside and tackles.
Second and 9, 2 receivers either side for Union. Second and 9 at their own 43. Handoff straight ahead to Boone, and he's going to push forward across the 45. But again, Paget met him in the hole, so he only got about 3 more, and already Union's going to face a third down at about 6. They're at their 46-yard line, or about right there, 46. They're going to need about the 48 of Southmoore. Quickly to the line of scrimmage, 2 receivers either side again. Thompson pulls them off sides, but there's no whistle. So apparently they didn't pull all the way off sides. Peyton checking to his left will now look and see what the play call is. He steps forward, Boone to his left behind him in the shotgun. Now motion on the Southmoore side as they shift the player. Union now shifts the receiver out to the far right side. Thompson with the snap, has time, drops back to pass. He's going to fire that thing deep, got a guy wide open, and that ball is caught at the 17-yard line, but it was way behind the receiver who fell down. The guy who made that catch was Jaquay Shavers, and there was nobody within 20 yards of him, but Peyton threw it short. He had to fall. It's a 29-yard gain, 1st and 10 Union at the 17 of Southmoore, but Jeff, that should have been 6.
Absolutely, and it was a really good route by Torrey Dillard. Stopped the short route. They did a good job confusing the defense, moving the receivers around a little bit, made the defensive backs think twice who's got who, and they didn't communicate well, so they didn't go with them. But you're right, it should have been a little bit longer, just a little more touch on that.
1st and 10 for the Redskins, now at the 17 of Southmoore. Back is Thompson once again, throwing to the right. Caught by Boone at the 10, 5, touchdown, untouched. Darius Boone swings out of the backfield. Southmoore completely confused. The guy closest to him over there was Donovan Gaines. He is their best player on both sides of the football, but he was nowhere close. And it's 6-0 Redskins, and I get the feeling, Jeff, this may start an onslaught.
I hope you're right. I think you're right. Union is looking to end this quickly. You want to be up 35 points, which is what Coach Fredericks wants, and you want to get there as fast as you can so you can get some young guys some experience and get out without any injuries.
Looks like they'll add one more right here. Noah Rauschenberg is really pretty close to automatic. Pearson will hold. DeSmit will snap. Teams are ready. Good snap. There's the hold. The kick is up, and it's through the middle just like it always is. So with 10:24 to play in this first period, Union draws first blood. Redskins 7, Southmoore nothing. Southmoore gets the ball next on KRMG.
Hi, I'm Jeff with Red Bud Physical Therapy.
Credit Union.
Just keep talking, don't worry about it. You gotta wrap up sooner.
Yeah.
Just jingle out, say what happens, and wrap up.
60 to 70%
And we hear him say something, just keep talking. He's just telling me the mic was too hot.
Or that exercise
Mike,
can
I'm gonna
reduce
use you
your
on the
risk of
crowd mic,
recurring
because it's
low
really
back
hard
pain
to
by
tell here.
between 25 and 40.
Crowd sounds okay so far. Just your color mic was way hot.
That's all right, and yeah, you did exactly the right thing. Just anytime, say that.
You bet.
When keeping it simple when it comes to buying a car, log on to ClassicChevrolet.net. Find the car you want.
What's that, Doc?
Make us an
I have Dan. I
Find
can't
out
hear
what your car
myself
is
very
worth.
well, but
Get
if you can hear
approved
me,
for
we're
financing.
Well, I'll
good
give you
shape.
more. Hang on.
Sign the papers
talking.
and drive your new car.
I have him.
today.
I'm going to turn
It's
this
that
off till
simple.
you come back
We
to
don't
me.
want to just sell
Well,
you a
it's gonna be
car.
really
We
quick.
will help you buy
Okay,
a car.
I'll just leave it on.
Classic Chevrolet in Owasso, where a handshake matters.
We have time, I'll do it, because Noah's
Be
gonna
sure to get your
ClassicChevrolet.net.
Union Football Game Day program. Programs are sold at each home game at the East and West gates. The cost is $5, and a portion of the proceeds is given to the Special Olympics.
Back at Union Tunnel Stadium, the Redskins in a quick 4-play 58-yard drive took only a minute and a half, and the 17-yard catch from Thompson for Darius Boone, the extra point by Rauschenberg, and it's 7-0 Union with 10:24 to play here in the first period. Rick Corey, Jeff Johnson on the field. Doc Blevins, we'll get to him in a moment. First of all, Noah Rauschenberg approaches the ball to kick off, and he's going to kick this thing deep into the end zone. It's going to be caught in the end zone, and it'll be a touchback. Down to the field with Doc Blevins for our injury report. Doc?
Dan Newman, hey, you've had awful good reports the last few weeks. What is it tonight?
We're all healthy, and I got to give props to Jacob and Dr. Cunningham. They're keeping him healthy and keeping my job real easy.
Well, you're doing a great job. Let's keep it up through the rest of the season. Back up to Rick.
I appreciate that, and of course, that is one of the best trainers in all of high school football in America, Dan Newman, on the forefront of concussions. So it's 1st and 10 now for Southmoore, trailing 7-0 already as they approach. Their quarterback will be Jaden Scott. We'll get to his numbers in a moment. First of all, 4 receivers, 2 to either side. Scott's going to fake. No, they actually hands off in the middle. That goes to Corey Durham, and he is swallowed for a 2-yard loss. Jacob Rogers is there. Nick Hill is there. Just about everybody in the middle of that defense. It'll be 2nd down and about 13. When you look at Jaden Scott, he's completing only 43% of his passes, but he has run for 350 yards. So he can scoot just a little bit. The problem with them is they haven't been able to block anybody up front. It's a pretty small offensive line. Back to the line of scrimmage on 2nd down and 12 now for Southmoore. They'll send 3 receivers to the left side, 1 to the right. In the shotgun, once again, he's going to fake the handoff this time, and Scott will take it himself up the middle across the 20 to the 22. Rogers had a hold of him, but he dragged him a ways, and then jumping in there to help on the tackle toward the end. Looks like maybe that was Cameron Watt, so it's going to be 3rd down and 9 after he got back 4.
And you highlighted the size as one of the problems, but there were only 3 seniors on this offensive, on the entire offensive side of the ball. So it's going to be a little bit difficult from the experience standpoint as well.
So they'll have 2 receivers to either side, but 1 short slot to the right side. 3rd and 9 for Southmoore now at their own 21-yard line, trailing 7-0 with 9 minutes to play first period. Jaden Scott, the quarterback, calls a signal, then moves to the line of scrimmage to call the play. Now moves backwards. Corey Durham, the single set back behind him. He's going to hand to Durham on the left side, and he won't get much, maybe about a yard. Rogers is one of the first guys there again. Trey Thompson jumped on top of the pile after everybody else had gotten there, but Trey's is coming back off an injury. You can understand why. Elijah Tomlin there and Michael Panther up off the bottom as well. Gain of about 2. It'll be 4th down and 6. So Southmoore will kick it away from their own 24-yard line. Kyler Pearson will come out and run back to Union's 45-yard line. Punter for Southmoore is Cameron Little. He's standing at his own 10-yard line. We'll see how far he kicks this thing and if Union comes after it. 3 up backs for Southmoore. There's the snap. It's a good one. The kick is away. It's not a bad kick. It drives Tyler back about to the 36-yard line. Picks it up there. Trying to get around one guy. Cannot do that. And there's about 4 that's going to take him down. He had a bunch of people staring at him there when he tried to get around. Andre Bellows made that final play. If he'll get it to the 41-yard line, and once again the Redskins, with a 7-0 lead, will have great field position with 8:20 to go here in this first period.
And Kyler did a great job. He caught the ball, scooted a little bit to either side, tried to make someone miss, ended up getting a couple of yards where he probably should have gotten tackled just straight backwards. But he never went backwards. He just kept his eyes forward and kept looking to go forward.
Union only needed 4 plays to score in their first possession. Again, if they win tonight, they clinch the district title. 1st and 10, Redskins at their own 41. 2 receivers go right side. Pearson is going to be stacked out there. To the left side, Spencer Shadle. In the shotgun, Thompson hands off left side to Darius Boone, and he breaks a tackle at the 40, but just barely. Really good play in there by Camden Braden, who comes into this game with 45 tackles for Southmoore. He got just enough of him that they were able to jump on him and get him down. That's a gain of 3. It'll be 2nd and 7. Ball placed now at Union's 44.
And as clean as that first series was, I'd like to see the same thing improved for the second series. Just keep the passes sharp, maybe a little bit more touch on the ball this time.
J.T. McLeod now into the game as the receiver on the left side. You have a tight end on the left side as well. Now McLeod goes in motion from left to right. Thompson in the shotgun. Hands off backside to Boone. He gets across the 45, but he's not going to make quite to the 50. He was brought down there by Caden Easterwood, and that's going to be short of the first down. It'll be at the 49-yard line. It's going to be 3rd and about 2. And Union quickly to the line of scrimmage. They lead 7-0 with 7.5 to go first period. They're quickly trying to get back to the line of scrimmage. Henry, short slot left side. Quick snap. Hand off to Boone left side. Breaks at the 50, at the 45, 40. Darius at the 40, 35, 30, and down across it to around the 28-yard line. He carried Andre Bellows with him about half that way. Also in there was Marshall Mack, but that's good for another 23 yards, I believe it is, something along those lines, and a first down. They'll mark it now at the 27-yard line of Southmoore.
That was a great job by the Union offensive line. Ricky Stromberg, I saw trying to struggle because Darius Boone was so fast getting through the line. The only person left to block was, unfortunately, the umpire.
Quickly, Union has a shorter player. Torrey Dillard's going to run on and go to the right side. He'll be out there with Shavers. 2 receivers left side, Pearson and Shadle. 1st and 10 Redskins now at the 27-yard line of Southmoore, leading 7-0. Thompson straight back to throw. He looks, now he pumps, now he goes middle of the field, and that is caught. Touchdown, and it looks to me like that's JT. No, that's Torrey. It's Torrey Dillard who made the catch. The flag flies in the end zone, and that's going to be interference, and it won't matter because Torrey Dillard, falling to the ground, leaped out and made the catch there, and a nice throw by Thompson, who had to step forward from the rush and as long as that penalty flag is what I think it is, it'll be 13-0 Redskins.
Yeah, and I'm just hoping they don't call Dillard for the interference because there was a little extension, but I thought it was clean. There was just a little hand fighting on each side. Actually, in my opinion, it was a good no call.
Dr. Robert Breedlove makes the call, and it will be against Southmoore. He is our referee. The rest of our crew tonight, the umpire is Dale Anderson, the head linesman Patrick Sweeney, the line judge Scott McKinley, and the back judge is Darren Carpenter. So Noah Rauschenberg on for the extra point with 6:49 to play here in this first period. If he hits this, and it's very likely he will, it'll already be 14-0 Redskins. Pearson set to hold. Snaps low, but he got it down. The kick is up, and it bounces off the scoreboard on the far end. So with 6:49 to play, first period, Union already rolling. Redskins 14, Southmoore nothing. This is Union football on KRMG.
I'm Amy Eric, founder of Madison
Federal Credit Union.
We're going to have a hard time getting in the spots tonight.
It's very meaningful to me when I hear
That's a beautiful sound you just made.
their lives. Here's Vicky, one of our very
thank
first customers. Coloring my own hair is easier than I ever imagined.
Yeah.
The best part, I no longer have to sit in a salon and pay over $100
I was going to say, because I was just thinking memory, but
Now
that
I
was another
color it
foreplay
when it's
drive. I didn't want to screw
convenient for
it up.
me, and it takes less than an hour. People compliment me on how great my color is, and my hair is incredibly soft and healthy looking.
They were talking about
Experience
new stadium
beautiful,
again today. You know, it'll be great.
multi-dimensional,
I swear I'll never get
ammonia-free,
to-
salon
I'll never get
quality
to do a
color
game in it,
for
I
under
promise.
$25. Join the hundreds of thousands of women who have tried
Hell, it
and
won't be till
loved
21
Madison
anyway.
Reed. Find your perfect shade at madison-reed.com and get 10% off plus free shipping on your first color kit. Use code
Redskin
TRUST.
fans, remember to
That's
check
code
in with the
TRUST.
Hype app to
Try
get
it,
points for
love it.
tonight's
That's
game.
the beauty of
Save your
Madison
points to
Reed.
earn freebies from
Catch
Raising
every
Cane's,
moment
the
of Union
U.S. Spirit
football
Store,
on
and even an
KRMG.com,
iPad.
the KRMG app, and News 102.3 KRMG.
A nearly
Donovan
matching
Gaines
foreplay,
back deep for the
59-yard drive in
Sabercats.
exactly the same amount of time as the
Noah
first drive, a minute and a
Rauschenberg
half.
to kick
This time
off
Dillard
for
28-yard
Union.
catch from Thompson, and the extra point makes it 14-0 Redskins here. With 6:49 to play in this first period. Rick Corey, Jeff Johns, Doc Levens here. Richard Johns with us as well as the Redskins get the kickoff from Noah Rauschenberg, and oh my goodness. He kicked the air out of that ball. It went through the end zone and almost into the stands on the north side here, and can you believe no one's offered this kid a scholarship?
Absolutely, it's hard for me to imagine that. I know he's been in talks with Arkansas, and Doc Blevins seems to think there's a good chance of him
That's
getting
where Doc
on
wants
there.
him. I will put it like that.
Yes,
Doc wants him at Arkansas.
Doc absolutely wants a better kicker there.
I tell you, it mystifies me that every coach tells you that the kicking game is a third of the game and nobody will scholarship a kicker. Very few, and it just doesn't make any sense to me. First and 10 for Southmoore. Doesn't make sense to them. They made this
Come
trip.
to me
They're
when
down
you can.
14-0 now with 6:49 to play in this first period. Back to the line of scrimmage, their quarterback, Scott. He's going to hand off to Durham on the left side, and he is going to be swallowed up. Elijah Tomlin drags him down. That's going to be a loss of another 3, I think, or 4, and it'll be 2nd and 14. Here's a guy who knows Noah very well. Doc Blevins, what's the latest?
Well, I talked to Noah yesterday after Team Chapel, and he told me it looks like Arkansas is going to be his best offer. It will probably be at a preferred walk-on, but that's how a lot of them do it. But I'll tell you, they're getting a great player if they get him.
There's no question. 2nd and 14 now for Southmoore. Once again, Scott's going to take the snap. He's going to try to pitch it himself. That might be backwards. Union's chasing it. Nope, it was not. They're going to call it an illegal forward pass. Durham was the pitch back, but that ball falls incomplete. Union chasing it. Won't matter. It'll be 3rd down and about 15 as they'll mark that ball. They're going to mark it back. They should mark it right back where it was, Jeff, at the 16-yard line.
If it's a forward pass, then it absolutely should be marked right where it was.
The line judge, though, was standing at the 15 like it was a fumble, and that didn't make any sense. So it's going to be 3rd and 14 for Southmoore at their own 16-yard line, trailing 14-0 with 6:14 to go here in this first period. Jaden Scott, their quarterback, just doesn't have a whole lot of help. He'll have one receiver split way far to the right. I mean, he's out by the numbers out there to the left side, 3 to the right. He's going to turn and hand to Durham on the left side, and he is smacked. Oh, Nick Jones, you talk about filling a hole. Number 7 just chested him up, knocked him down at the 18, maybe the 17. Gain of 1. It'll be 3rd down and 13, and Southmoore will kick it again.
And I tell you what, if Southmoore wants to move the ball against this Union front 7, they're going to have to do something pretty creative because so far Union has been absolutely dominant.
Well, on to kick this ball again, the punter is Cameron Little. He'll be standing at his 3-yard line. Pearson is standing dead center at the 50, right in the middle of that black and red split U. There's the snap. Kick is away. Nobody touched him. It's not a bad kick. Pearson comes up and makes the nice fair catch at the 49-yard line of Southmoore. And those are hidden yards. Those are things you don't see. Kyler Pearson, by making that catch, saved Union probably 10 yards on the bounce. It doesn't show on the stat sheet, but that's a terrific play.
You're right. And one of the things I'm surprised is that he even fair caught it. Because so many times we've seen Kyler in 4 guys around him, and he still catches it and tries to make someone miss, and usually does.
Yeah, there were enough guys around him that time. That was the better part of valor there. 5:33 to go in this first period. 14-0 Union. They take the football at the 48-yard line of Southmoore. Darius Boone's going to trot off the field. Elijah Tomlin will be the single setback. Dillard and Pearson go far right. To the left, Spencer Shadle. Brock Henry, the tight end, now in motion left to right. Thompson in the shotgun. He's going to turn and hand to Tomlin. He busts forward across the 45 down to the 43. Tackle in there by Donovan Gaines, who is, again, their best player. Gaines has got 90 tackles on this year, 54 of them solos and a couple of tackles for losses, but that's good for 5. 2nd and 5 Redskins now at the 43 of Southmoore.
Between the guard and the tackle on the right side of the field, there was a really good hole. And if Darius can get a hole and get to that second level, sorry, that was Tomlin that time. A great burst of speed that we saw from Elijah Tomlin to just pound through to the linebacker.
Pretty much the same lineup, except it'll be tight end Brock Henry on the right side. Snap handed again to Tomlin, and this time he is tripped up almost in the backfield, but he pushes forward. The guy that got there first was Braden, and he got him by the ankle, but he was able to kind of push out of that, kept going until Corey Callens, who comes in at about 290 pounds, was able to get him down. They'll mark that one at the 42, just inside that of Southmoore. It'll be 3rd and a good 3 for Union. They'll need the 38 of Southmoore for the first down, already leading 14-0 with 4.5 to play first period. Quickly to the line of scrimmage, Union with 2 receivers left, 1 to the right. Guy to the far right side's got a touchdown tonight already. That's Dillard. Pearson goes in motion. They fake to Pearson and hand off to Boone. He goes straight across the middle. 30, 25, 20. Darius at the 15. Darius at the 13-yard line. Saving tackle made in there by Andre Bellows, but not before Darius Boone not only got 28 yards, but he clipped 1,000 yards on the season. Darius Boone now at about 1,020, I believe it is, on the year, and he still has a game to go other than the playoffs. 4:15 to go first period, 1st and 10 Redskins now at the 14-yard line of Southmoore.
When you have a threat with the speed of Kyler Pearson, he starts moving across the line. It drags just enough time on the defender's minds that Darius can just break through, and no one touched him until he got to the second.
3 receivers, 2 to the right, 1 to the left. Henry now goes in motion left to right. They'll hand off to A.J. Green on the right side. He's got the 15, he's got the 10, getting outside to the 5, A.J., and he's going to get to the 1-yard line. A.J. Green knocked out of bounds at the 1 on the far sideline. There were just SaberCats strewn all over the field. He's going to actually be inside the 1. The final tackle over there again by Gaines, but it'll be 1st and goal Redskins inside the 1 of Southmoore.
And that's all work by A.J. Green. There's not a lot of blocking on the outside. The play looks like it's going to go to the left. So many of the blockers are moved over that way, so he just outruns everybody on the right side of the field. Great job by A.J. Green.
And he can do that. He's got some wheels, there's no question. Quickly to the Redskins to the line of scrimmage. They'll send 2 receivers to the left. Nick Jones comes into play and up back. He's on the right side. This time it's going to be the Wildcat. Darius Boone walks in untouched on the right side. And they just mashed that Southmoore defensive line. Those big guys up front, Stromberg, Rodriguez, Cantu, Gibbons, Henry, and, of course, Nick Jones created a huge hole. And it's 20-0 Redskins with 3:54 to go first period.
And don't forget Michael Walker in there on that heavy set, too. Great job blocking by the Union offense. It's hard to stop Union when you get to the 1-yard line, as big and strong and they are, and they're ready for that. That's that mentality that they have, that Union mentality of, you're not going to beat me on this one.
And Michael Walker is a big kid. On for the extra point once again. Looks like a future Razorback, Noah Rauschenberg. Kick is up, and once again it's good. So with 3:54 to play here in the first period, Redskins already have the lead 21-0 over Southmoore, but the SaberCats get it next on KRMG.
I'm Amy Arrett, founder of Madison Reed, a hair color company I named after my daughter. It's very meaningful to me when I hear customers talk about how Madison Reed at-home hair color has changed their lives. Here's Vicky, one of our very first customers.
Coloring my own hair is easier than I ever imagined. The best part, I no longer have to sit in a salon and pay over $100 to have this done. Now I color it when it's convenient for me, and it takes less than an hour.
Redskin fans, who wants a t-shirt? Thanks to our friends at Children's Dental Health Center, the U-Hype crew is here to hype you up with a free t-shirt.
Salon-quality colors for under $25. Join the hundreds of thousands of women who have tried and loved Madison Reed. Find your perfect shade at madison-reed.com and Try it. Love it. That's the beauty of Madison Reed.
Never miss a moment of Union High School football. Download the KRMG app now. Available for Apple and Android.
3:54 to play here in the first period at Union Tuttle Stadium. The Redskins already in the middle of a runaway, 21-0 after a 5-play, 48-yard drive. Took a minute 59. They're getting slower, aren't they? The first two drives only took a minute and a half. Boone's 1-yard run, and then the extra point makes it 21-0. Rauschenberg kicking off from right to left. The man back is Easterwood. Unless he mishits this one, Easterwood has no chance, and once again he kicks it through the back of the end zone, so it'll be 1st and 10 Southmoore at their own 20-yard line. And Jeff, you put yourself in the place of these guys, and you played here at Union in a very successful team. I played at Nathan Hale back when they were very good in the 70s, when Hale and Memorial and teams like that were very good. And it's hard to put yourself in the position of being down like this. We were never down like this in the first period. How does a team psyche, who's already 2-6 and know they're not playing for anything, how do you keep going in a time like this?
Well, fortunately for me, I also have played at the collegiate level. I played soccer, and I have been down 7-0 in the second half. And honestly, it's that mental fortitude that you condition yourself. Every time I'm on the field, I'm getting better. So it's never poorly spent.
1st and 10 Southmoore, who's hoping to improve on this 21-0 score. Hand off to Dunham, and he's going to be taken down in the backfield once again. Jaden Scott simply handed to Dunham, and he goes from the 20 all the way back to the 15-yard line. First guy there was Nick Jones, who you might as well just turn Nick Jones loose at a buffet. That's what this looks like, huh?
Nick Jones, I don't know if anyone even tried to block Nick Jones because he just went right around the outside. It wasn't a confusing blitzing package they were put. They just lined him up outside and said, go to town, big buddy.
I feel sorry for these kids at Southmoore. Jaden Scott in the shotgun once again, this time 4 receivers and Dunham. He's going to hand it to Durham. No, Scott's going to keep this on the fake, and he does actually a pretty good job just to get back to the line of scrimmage. He had Rogers hanging all over him. McLeod comes in as well. So is Michael Panther there, and Nick Jones is there again. They're going to give him a yard, probably the hardest of his career. That'll put it at the 16-yard line and create 3rd and 14 for Southmoore, already trailing 21-0 with 3 to go here in this first period.
McGuire went around the right side, drew the tackle and the guard because he takes a couple of guys to block him, and who else but Nick Jones to just get a paw in there and hold on.
Scott back in the shotgun, standing around his own 11-yard line, calls a signal, now looks to the sideline. The man behind him, Corey Durham, minus 3 yards so far tonight for Southmoore. Now Durham shifts to the right. He's standing directly to the right of Scott. Scott in the shotgun. He's going to try to run the option, and he goes nowhere. Elijah Tomlin dragged him. No, I'm sorry, that was not Elijah Tomlin. That was Isaiah McGuire, who dragged him down for a loss of 2 more. They'll put it back to around the 14, maybe inside that, and once again outruns the punter, and that is Cameron Little, and he may be the most worked guy of the night for Southmoore. As they go backwards, he will stand right about his goal line, kicking from left to right. Kyler Pearson once again standing just really dead center at the 50-yard line in the middle of the black and red split U. Little is now counting to make sure he has enough protection, and I don't blame him. Redskins have already blocked a punt for a touchdown last week, and I won't be surprised, Jeff, if they don't come after this one. Minute 58 to go here in this first period, 21-0 Union. Here comes Union. They can't get there. Little got it away and got a nice kick away. Pearson driven back to his 45, makes the catch. Now here he comes. Got a wall, left side, 45, 40. Kyler to 35. Got one to beat, cannot get away at the 30-yard line. He's going to go down right there. The last guy to get a pretty good hold on him was Joshua Clay, and he hung on for dear life, so that'll take Union to the 30-yard line of Southmoore, and once again they start in Southmoore territory, the second time they've done it in the last 2 possessions, and that return is going to be good for 28 yards, Union first down.
And going back to Isaiah McGuire, who made that last tackle, my wife works with his mama, and she said he's talking to Oklahoma State, where she graduated from. They're offering what looks like is going to be a preferred walk-on, but he's got an offer from the University of Missouri as well.
Good for him. And he's a kid I think has a chance. This Union front is very good. Minute 41 to go, first period, 21-0 Redskins trying to add to it. 1st and 10 at the 39-yard line of Southmoore. Thompson in the shotgun has the snap. Looking, firing middle of the field, and that is caught. Touchdown. That was a rocket. The coverage was not bad, but he threw an absolute bullet to Jaquay Shavers, and he hung on. It's now 27-0, and Jeff, that's the one thing, in my opinion, Union's kind of missed, is that guy to make that catch, and if they keep this up, look out.
I think they're starting to focus the right place, right? Hand the ball off to Pearson on those jet sweeps, let him return punts, but Jaquay Shavers is sure-handed tonight. and everybody so far has looked solid. This has been the most complete team I've seen in the first quarter all season.
Well, what a laser that was from Thompson. Rauschenberg on for the extra point. Snap is high, but Pearson got it down. The kick is up, and it's good. 1:34 to go in this first quarter. 28-0 Union over Southmoore. This is Redskins football on KRMG.
This is a great time of year
Thompson
for
have
new
an
ideas,
That was
and
a
we
rope.
had an idea that we call the Big 100 Sales Event. You see, when people here in Oklahoma are
5
searching
of
for a
5.
pre-owned truck, they
104
automatically
yards
think of
on
Jim Norton
5
Chevy in
passes.
Broken Arrow, because Jim Norton Chevy
not a bad
offers
Actually, it was
big
the best
selection
coverage
of
I've seen. That was pretty good.
That was
Big selection, big savings, big opportunity.
Ordinary.
It just doesn't
Well, the
get
one
any
on,
bigger than the Big 100 sales event.
Number 8.
So hurry. Shop over 100
Dillard.
pre-owned work
Yeah, the one on
trucks,
Dillard
toy
was
trucks,
fine. He was
regular
just,
cabs, crew
holding.
cabs, dualies, diesels, and more, all slashed to the bone with our biggest savings of the year.
Plus, at the all-new Jim Norton Chevy in Broken
the
Arrow,
lighting
you
down there is
always
awful.
get a lifetime
Yeah.
engine warranty
That
at
back
no
Redskins
extra
fans,
charge.
we have a schedule change for next week's senior night game. The varsity football game with Edmond North will be played on Friday, November
Now
2nd.
to the all-new Jim Norton Chevy in Broken Arrow, and see us in
Still
person. Exit
7:05
145 off the
We
VA.
apologize for any inconvenience this may cause.
Restrictions apply. See dealer for details.
Shout outs to your favorite player on the open mic on the KRMG app right now. And Rick Torrey might even play it on
Donovan
the air.
Gaines
He's
back
102.3
deep for the
KRMG.
Sabercats.
Well, that's if we have time between Union touchdowns.
No,
28-0 Redskins already with 1:34 to go here in this first period. Rick Corey with Doc Blevins, Jeff Johns, and Richard Johns. The drive, one play, 29 yards, took all of 7 seconds. The 29-yard catch, Shavers from Thompson, and that's how we get the 28. And once again, Rauschenberg will kick off. Noah's at 76% of touchbacks on the year, and that'll even knock that up just a little bit further as he once again kicks it in the end zone. And here comes the Southmoore Sabercats, hoping that one more time they can get a little something going. Like I said, 1:34 to go. And quite honestly, I mean, again, I really feel for these kids because they're doing what they can do. There's not many. They traveled 48 kids, and you're allowed to travel more than that. That's apparently kind of what they have on the roster. And you know, when they split the schools like they did at Edmond and like they did at Putnam and like they did at Moore and like they did at Norman, it just makes it harder to field complete teams.
It absolutely does, but it creates better classroom sizes for the kids, and that's what it's about.
Scott on first down throws to the right side, completed to Paget. Paget actually gets away to the 23, 24-yard line. Best gain of the night for Southmoore. Elijah Tomlin knocks him out of bounds after a gain of 4, and that's the first time this offense has gone forward in about 2 series. They've got everything backwards until then, so it'll be 2nd down and 6. They'll mark it at the 24 of Southmoore as they trail 28-0.
They made a couple yards on, I think, 2 different plays, but this is I think this is the closest they've been to a first down so far. So let's see if they can keep up some momentum.
2nd and 6, Southmoore. Scott has 2 receivers to either side. Scott in the shotgun with Durham behind him. Scott straight back. Here comes pressure. Throws to his left, and that ball is short. He was trying to get that out to Marshall Mack, but he had people coming. Trey Thompson was one of those. Michael Walker was another, and he felt that heat, threw it incomplete. It'll be 3rd and 6.
Boy, Trey put a lick on him. He's ready to come back from injury. He's already jumped on one pile and now made a beeline for the quarterback.
Yeah, be careful of that jumping on pile stuff. 3rd and 6, Southmoore trailing 28-0, 1:22 to go, first period. Jaden Scott with 3 receivers to his left. His most dangerous player out there is Donovan Gaines. He's their best player, and he hadn't touched the ball yet tonight. He's the inside slot man, 1 receiver to the right. Running back in there now is going to be Paget. Straight back of Scott, and he's going to run to the right, just kind of like a wildcat, and he's going to be wrapped up just around the 25. The first guy back there could not drag him down. Union really had a pretty good shot at him right there in the backfield. Couldn't get to him. Elijah Tomlin was able to finish that tackle, but it was Jaquay Shavers who actually had the shot and just could not hang on. A lot of these Union kids going both ways now, and it's been very successful. 4th down now for Southmoore. 4th and about 4, ball on their 27-yard line.
Elijah being one of those guys who's playing very well at the running
Evans,
back. Yeah.
Several guys.
And all of those
McLeod.
guys are very successful on defense as well. It's not just to try to get them more time. They're great athletes.
Cameron Little's going to kick it away, and it's blocked. Union blocks it, picked up, run into the end zone. Touchdown, Redskins. That was a jailbreak. Cameron Watts is the guy that picked it up, but there were about 9 guys in red jerseys, and there was no chance for Cameron Little. He got that off in a step and a half, and that was half a step too slow. 33 seconds to go first period. It's 34-0 Union.
Michael Walker was the guy who actually got the block on that. But there were 4 Union Redskins standing at the punter, and that's not the first time they've been there. But they learned from last week at Norman North. You have to make sure that you're going to get the block, or like last week, you get called for it and give up a first down.
So the Redskins will extend the lead. Noah Rauschenberg on to try to make it 35. He may be tired before the night's over. High snap. Pearson got it down. The kick is up, and once again it's good, and once again it bounces off the middle of the scoreboard up there. And with 33 seconds to go in this first period, it's 35-0 Union, and there's the Redskins' score differential they're always looking for, so you may start seeing a lot of players in this game pretty soon. We'll take a break and be back in a moment. 35-0 Union. This is Redskins football on KRMG.
Hi, this is Matt McCoy, and as many of you
Still
know,
at 5
I've
throws.
been on some winning teams
Mike, that's
my
gotta-
entire career.
Yeah, only
I'm
5
now
throws.
on
Make us
another
even
winning
for the first
team,
quarter.
State Farm Insurance. For the first.
Yeah, this is half of that 2-minute break that's supposed to go between quarters.
Okay.
Free.
Well, then I won't take another one, and even if something happens, we'll just run one in between. I've got more Kirk stuff I can run, too.
Gift card at 918.
Okay, that's cool.
634, or stop by our office at 81st and 129th. We look forward to meeting you.
At Classic
I know
Chevrolet,
Southmoore
we
isn't
believe
good,
in keeping it simple when it comes to buying a car. Log on to ClassicChevrolet.net. Find the car you want. Message us.
Oh, yeah.
Make us an offer. Then find out what your car is worth. Get approved for financing. Come see us. Sign the papers and drive your new car home today. It's that simple. We don't want to just sell you a car. We want to help you buy a car. Classic Chevrolet in Owasso, where a handshake matters.
Donovan Gaines
Online
back
at
deep for Southmoore.
ClassicChevrolet.net.
You're listening to the flagship station of Union High School football. News 102.3 KRMG.
Well, after a rough start to the year, the Union
Noah
Redskins have really hit a
Rauschenberg
roll. Now
to
they
kick
lead
off for
35-0
Union.
over Southmoore with 33 seconds to go here in the first period of this contest at Union Tuttle Stadium. The punt block and pick up by Watts runs it back around 10 yards. Is how they got that final of the last score. And the extra point by Rauschenberg, who once again is going to kick this ball into, through, out of, and away from the end zone.
Kickoff
Now
goes into the
Union,
end zone for a
Southmoore will have it
touchback.
one more time and have an
Ball will be
opportunity
placed
to
at the
try to get
20-yard
back
line. That's where
after it.
Southmoore
Right
takes
now,
over.
Union looking at
1st and 10.
yards total offense. Southmoore -1. And it's not that they're not trying. There's just not much they can do, Jeff. Their offensive line has really struggled against Union's defensive front. But let's be honest. Broken Arrow and Jinx's offense can struggle against this defensive front. It's the best part of this Union football team.
Yeah, you're right. All of these defensive players that we've talked about are all getting talked to by Division I schools. So these are not just some of the best players on this specific roster. These are some of the best players in the state. And they're going to see action at the next level. A couple of these guys may play on Sundays.
A couple of these guys are already committed to Division I teams. 1st and 10, Southmoore now at their own 20-yard line. Again, Jaden Scott, their quarterback. He'll hand off to Dunno. He keeps it himself, get around the outside. He's got some room. 20, 25. He may get the first down, and he does. He runs out of bounds for a first down. J.T. McLeod chased him out over there. So did Micah Walker. Oh, they're going to mark him back to the 19. I thought he had the first down tonight for Southmoore. He got 9. It'll be 2nd down and 1. And Jaden Scott, who came in with 350 yards on the ground, adds to that total. 2nd and 1, quickly to the line of scrimmage. 2 receivers either side. Scott throws left side. That ball is caught over there, and getting right to that first down marker, or really close to that first down marker, was Tyler White. Not quite sure if he got it. Let's see. Yep, they're going to say he got about 3 yards in the first down. Tomlin was out there on the tackle. So was McLeod, but the SaberCats moved the chains.
See if they can do anything with a little bit of momentum here, as the SaberCats are doing more than they have so far. Getting around the outside may be their only shot.
19 seconds to go first half. 35-0 Redskins. Now Southmoore with their first down at their own 30-yard line. 3 receivers to the right side. Gaines the most dangerous in the middle. Mack out here to the right side as well. 1 receiver to the left. Again, Scott is the quarterback in the shotgun. He's going to hand left side to Dunham, and Dunham's going to go across the 30. He got to about the 32-yard line. Trey Thompson right in there to bring him down. Michael Panther as well, and he's going to come out of the game. Game of 2, and it'll be 2nd down and 8, but that should end the first quarter as we are running down here. Yep, and that will take it to 0. So we end the first quarter here at Union Tuttle Stadium with a comfortable Redskins lead, and it looks like they will be the district champions unless the completely unthinkable happens. End of 1, 35-0 Union. This is Redskins football on KRMG.
Here's how you can put in just a little effort and help our schools in a big way. Just switch your checking account
See
to
that Appalachian
TTCU
State
Federal
is ranked
Credit
this
Union.
week?
You get $150 for switching, and
State.
every time you use your
They're
school
not
pride
bad.
card, TTCU donates to our schools.
No, but
With credit,
beat Michigan
annual
2 years
percentage
ago.
yield
I-
for
right.
dividend
Or a year
bearing
ago.
accounts is 0.2%
But,
as of
and they almost
6/118.
beat Penn State
Checking
this
account
year.
must be opened by
But
10/31/18.
honestly,
Bonus
there are a
requirements
lot
must be
of
met within
teams this
60
year
business
in-
days of
in
account
the,
opening. Some restrictions
in
apply.
Division I football
Federally
that are
insured
just
by
not that good.
NCUA.
So
Like
make the switch.
They're very
Green Country
average.
Trailers is a proud sponsor of Getting Real with Pastor Dixie on KRMG every Sunday morning, where they discuss real problems and real life issues. Green Country Trailers, rental and repairs.
This quarter is brought to you by Black Bear Diner. Scrumptious food in a family-friendly environment. Now open on 71st Street, across from the mall.
And 8. 3 receivers to the right, 1 to the left, and already there will be a timeout called. We'll keep it here just for a second because I'm pretty confident there's going to be more scoring and the game will get stopped. In the meantime, one of the things Doc Blevins asked Kirk Frederick when they had their meeting was about these seniors. I want to hear from Kirk, and we'll go back down to Doc. He asked him why they're playing a little better.
Fast it is. Several of our seniors have talked about, man, it sure does seem like this year's gone by quick. And so you start to recognize that, and a lot of really special kids and a special group of kids that are real tight together. And, we love watching those guys play, and I'm glad that we get to spend the last 3 games at home.
And those 3 games right now look like they're going to go pretty well, Doc Blevins. What's the mood down there?
It is a jubilant mood for a couple of reasons. The guys playing are really excited about what they're accomplishing, and a lot of young guys see that they're probably going to get a significant amount of playing time tonight.
Yeah, I can imagine that will be the case. That's going to keep Jeff Johns busy. You catch that hint, right?
Absolutely. I'm all over it.
He's got a roster with big print. We're good. Second down and 8 for Southmoore. Now throwing 32-yard line, moving right to left as we begin the second period. They're down 35-0. Scott takes the snap, and he just gets swallowed. Elijah is there. Tomlin is there. And there was somebody else there.
Jacoby
Hang on real
Gibbs.
quick. Yeah, Jacoby Gibbs, who's done a lot, who's played a lot more lately. Jacoby at inside-out position, doing a terrific job. That's a loss of 2. It'll be 3rd and 10, Southmoore at their own 30.
Yeah, Elijah was unblocked on the outside, and it looked like the only thing left to do for the running back was to cut back in. Unfortunately, that was right into the waiting arms of Jacoby Gibbs.
3rd and 10 now for Southmoore, and the shotgun is Scott. Back to pass, throwing middle of the field, and that bounces right off the hands of, looks like, was that Pageant? No, it was not Pageant. That was Caleb Baker, who let it bounce away. He was decently covered by Michael Walker anyway. It falls incomplete, and Southmoore will kick on 4th and 10. And here's the problem with that. If you're Southmoore, it stops the clock. And the last thing you should want is to stop the clock. Union's going to send a different returner. It'll be Braden White back to return the punt. Braden will be standing around his 35-yard line, kicking once again the punter, Cameron Little. The last time he punted, Union blocked it and returned it for a score. Union is set. There's the snap, and they're going to come after this one, but not quite as hard. The kick is away. It's going to be very high. White calls for the fair catch and makes it around the 33-yard line. Not a bad play right there, and the Redskins will take it 1st and 10. Leading 35-0 with 11:17 to go in the first half. I'm not sure we're going to see a lot of seconds yet, but I think it won't be very long, Jeff, before those guys get some work.
Yeah, you may see 1 or 2 more series here from Peyton Thompson, mainly just because he's only thrown 5 passes so far. And by the way, all of them have been completions. What do we got? 104 yards and 3 touchdowns on 5 passes.
That's not a bad night to start things with. Now, the one thing you don't want to do, you don't want to come out here and set your first teamers too long so that they don't have an opportunity to stay, because you still have to play next week. And even if you won the district, you don't want to go into the playoffs having lost a game. There was a flag on the play that we apparently did not see. It's going to move the football back to the 26-yard line. The lighting here at Union Tuttle, this stadium was state-of-the-art when it was built. It's obviously older now, and it's set to be refurbished in the next few years. And the lighting here is just not very good anymore. And sometimes it's actually even hard to see some of those things on the field. So 1st and 10 for the Redskins. Looks like Pearson's going to be in the Wildcat. Kyler's going to run it to the right side. Boone out in front. Kyler at the 25. He's got movement 20, 30, 35, 40, but they say he's out of bounds at the 27-yard line. And there's a flag way across the field thrown over there by the head linesman, Patrick Sweeney, and that will probably be, it's going to be a formation issue against Union, and that will move the ball backwards.
And that's difficult. That's one of the formations we've only seen 1 or 2 times this season, is having Kyler take the direct snap. Obviously, he's got speed. and it's unfortunate that we have a flag. I didn't think he stepped out there just watching the replay, but it was close.
But it doesn't matter with a flag, does it?
Exactly.
And he had Darius Boone out in front of him, and if you think Darius Boone's a good runner, you got to see him block. He brings a nasty attitude when he blocks. That'll move the ball back to the 21-yard line. It'll be 1st and 15 there. It's already 35-0 Redskins with 11 minutes to go in the first half. Union moving from left to right. Their white jerseys, their white helmets with the silver U, and the white pants, red jerseys, pardon me. Thompson brings him up, 3 receivers to his left. Pearson, the center guy out there. Shadle the far outside. Thompson straight back, looks. He's got Boone, but can't get it to him. He's going to run forward, and he's going to be taken down. He got forward to about the 22, 23-yard line. That's where he was tackled right there. That was a really nice play by number 87, Camden Braden, who came into this game with 38 tackles, 23 of those solos, and he had 7 tackles for loss. So the kid can get in the backfield. That'll be a gain of about 1. It'll be 2nd down and 14 now for Southmoore.
That's one of the things that we've seen from Southmoore so far this season as the sack count. They've got 8 so far on the season. They're getting to the quarterback pretty regularly.
3 receivers left side, 1 to the right for Union on this 2nd and 14, now at their own 22-yard line. Thompson's going to hand off left side, and it is Boone who pushes forward across the 25 to around the 27-yard line. He won't get any further than that. Into the arms of Corey Callens, who's about 290 pounds. They'll call it 4. It'll be 3rd down. We'll call it 5, actually. 3rd down and just under 10 for the Redskins as they lead 35-0, and they're now at their own 27-yard line.
So if we're talking about getting to the quarterback quickly, and Peyton Thompson hasn't been sacked so far, what Union has been doing well is getting the ball out of his hands, short routes, quick routes, so that he's successful.
White goes in motion from right to left. Back to pass is Thompson on this 3rd and 9. Throws right side to Boone. Got blockers out front. 30, 35, 40. All kinds of room. 45, 50, 45, 40, 35. Cuts back. Official falls down. 20, 15, 10, 5. Touchdown. 74 yards. And no one came within about 6 yards of Darius Boone. He made 1 cut back at around the 30. Left that guy almost broke his ankles. Even the official fell down. And it's 41-0 Union. And it does not get, Jeff, any easier than that.
And one of the official didn't just fall. Kyler said, you need to get out of the way because I got to make my last block. Kyler had 1 guy to block, and the official was standing right between him and the blocker. So Kyler just moved him out of the way, and unfortunately, I think that's the 2nd time the umpires wound up on the ground.
So here comes Noah Rauschenberg, who may have a sore leg by the time the night is over. He'll see if he can make it 42. Teams are lined up. Noah kicking from left to right toward the UMAC. Snaps high, but the ball is down. The kick is up, and there's a flag down. I think Southmoore came over the top, and if that's the case, then that will be against them, and that will not be a thing. Union would turn that penalty down, and so with 9:30 to go here in this first half, it will be 42-0. We're going to go ahead and take our break and count that as what's going to happen. 42-0 Redskins. This is Union football on KRMG.
Okay, mate, here's how it
Can
works.
you,
just grab it right
can you
here,
take that
pull
on
back,
the enforce that on the kickoff?
and
Mike.
it whooshes through
Doc,
the
did you
air
turn
and
off your
comes
mic?
right back to you.
Are you kidding? My dad had a homing pigeon that did the same thing.
Yes, mate, but this smells better than a homing pigeon. Want
Let's
to
hope
try?
so.
All right.
Now, pull back and throw.
Turn off your mic. You left your mic on.
I'm sorry. I tried to turn it off,
Yeah.
but I've
Let's
torn
try
a
your left hand.
fingernail off trying to do it. This thing is
And throw.
ridiculous. But anyway,
Just turn it off now if you would.
I thought it was off.
And another window. Okay, now what?
Well, I guess just go get their names and phone numbers. I'll call Robinson Glass.
For glass in your car or your neighbor's car. Or glass in your home or your neighbor's home.
Please, Southmoore, don't throw the ball. Yeah, they did
Any
take
it on
kind
the
of
kick.
glass at
Oh,
all.
my God.
Yeah.
Hope they're ready up there.
Can you get it all the way up there?
You think you could get their names and I could call Robinson Glass?
Don't be a baby, mate. They wouldn't hurt a kid.
They might.
Catch every moment.
Union Public Schools wishes to thank Advanced Orthopedics of Oklahoma, our sports medicine provider for all district sports. Donovan Gaines back deep for Southmoore. Noah Rauschenberg to kick off for Union.
And he kicked it to the left on purpose so it would not go up into the Redskin room over there. There's a balcony, and he could have kicked it right to any one of those people. Chose not to. It'll be a touchback, and Southmoore will have it at their own 20-yard line. Once again, trying to figure out a way to get anything going, Jeff.
could have been an exciting time for some boosters to get some playing time now.
Well, you don't want to hit somebody's plate of nachos up there. That's a way to lose a booster. So it'll be 1st and 10 for Southmoore, now trailing 42-0. They come into this game with a 2-6 record. They beat Deer Creek early in the year and then beat Edmond North. And in between, played a couple of tight games. They played Mustang, who I think is not a bad team, pretty tightly, but tonight not so much. Their quarterback, Jaden Scott, brings them up. The man to his left now is Donovan Gaines, and that's the guy they need to get involved. Scott's going to run to the left, and he's going to get away from one guy at the 20, gets across the 23-yard line. It was a really nice effort out there, and Dawson Prock could have had him for about a 3-yard loss. He got away from him. Josh Frederick ran him out of bounds. He got a little over 5. We'll call it 2nd and 5 for Southmoore.
It was a good attempt by Dawson Prock. We've seen Scott already get out of a couple of tackles like that, so not uncommon, and just a good run by Southmoore.
2nd and 5. Scott had motion that time on the left side. That should be a flag, but they did not call it. They throw it out to the left side, trying to get that ball out to Ty Bartley, but he dropped it. Union was there on the coverage anyway. Keith Dorsey was there. Another guy there was Jaquan Sanders. And it'll be 3rd down now and 5 for Southmoore. And they have to rethink throwing the football. That stops the clock and gives Union more time.
Well, you got to get something going. I mean, there has to be some sort of morale boost going into half. I mean, there's 9 minutes left and it's 42-0.
Jaden Scott brings him up, 4 receivers. He's back to pass. Scott's now going to run. He's got a lot of room. Flag is down as he goes across the 30 and across the 35. He would have the 1st down, but I think that flag will be holding, and he got popped by Elijah Tomlin when he got to around the 35-yard line. That would be a gain of 11, but I think that's going to come back the other way. Get the call here from our referee, Robert Breedlove. And he does say it is holding against Southmoore, so they can't catch a break.
And I was just as I was thinking, man, how are they not getting to the quarterback? The flag comes out. Oh, well, that's why.
That's how they're not. If you instruct everybody up front to hug the guy, then that'll do it. So they're going to mark the ball all the way back. Oh, my goodness, from the point of infraction, this is going to take Southmoore back to their 11-yard line. 9 minutes to play in the first half. It's already 42-0 Union, and poor Southmoore is now going to be faced with 3rd and 22.
What's the play call from 3rd and 22?
Handoff. Get off the field. Hope your punter can kick it away. Instead, Scott in the shotgun will have 2 receivers to the right. One of those guys is going to be kind of the middle slot, if you will, 2 to the left. Once again, Durham is behind him. He will try to hand off to Durham, fakes that. Scott keeps it himself and tried to get away but could not. He's tackled around the right side. That was once again Michael Walker at around the 11-yard line. They're going to give him about a half yard, and it'll be 4th down. And out will come once again Cameron Little, and he's going to have to punt this thing from the end zone. The end zone is black with Union in red, and he's going to be standing right about the eye, the bottom of that eye. He's going to be kicking once again to Braden White, who is standing at the 45 of Southmoore. He's standing right in the middle of the red part of that split U. There's the kick, and it's going to be high. White's going to have a chance to return it. He's back around the 48, drops it, picks it up, and here he goes. He's the 50, 45, left side at the 40. Has a bit of a wall, gets down to around the 36-yard line. It's a pretty good job considering he dropped it at first to get up and get something out of that. Final tackle, and they're made by Marshall Mack.
Yeah, he looked away from the ball just before it came down, and that's all it takes to lose track of it. It came through, but he did. He recovered very well. And so one of the things that I'm interested in seeing is as some of these subs start to come in, how well do they play against Southmoore? Because, you know, as a coach, when you're taking people out early in the game, you're thinking, well, I'm not getting enough experience for my starters. But honestly, a lot of these Union subs can give just as much of a challenge in practice.
And right now they're going to come out with that first team for the most part. Tonight, Darius Boone, 64 rushing yards, 81 receiving, 145 total yards already. Darius will not be out there. A.J. Green will be the running back. 1st and 10 Union at Southmore's 36-yard line. Thompson in the shotgun with Green to his right. He's going to fake to Green, roll to his right. Thompson throws back to Green left side, wide open, makes the catch at the 30, cuts inside of the 20, breaks a tackle, 15, 10, 5, touchdown. A.J. Green had 2 guys grab him at the 20-yard line. One of them, one of the best players for Southmoore, that was DJ Ware. The other one was Donovan Gaines, their other best player, and A.J. shucked them like bad corn. That's into the end zone, and it's 48-0 Redskins, and the onslaught continues.
Shadle drew his man to the inside, so there was no one out there except the 2 that wrapped up around A.J. Green and hit each other and then fell down, and he just ran it the rest of the way in on his own.
A.J.'s been very good this year and just kind of helping fill in. Rauschenberg on for the extra point. Pearson will hold. Another one-play drive for Union. Snap is high, but he got it down. Once again, the kick is up, and the kick goes off the UMAC, and it's good. 7:50 to play in the first half. 49-0 Union over Southmoore. This is Redskins football at KRMG.
From the Ferguson Buick GMC Studios, KRMG-FM Sand Springs, KRMG Tulsa.
Email phishing attacks cost businesses billions annually in real cash, data
if you
loss,
throw it,
and
all you're
brand
going to do is
damage.
stop the clock,
Phishing emails are
and you're
hard to
gonna make it
detect
worse.
because the messages appear to be
Hand the ball off
legitimate
and
to
kick and hope
unsuspecting
that you get the
employees.
seconds and
Introducing
thirds, and
Barracuda
from here
Fish
on,
Line,
it's
a
7
groundbreaking
minutes.
cloud-based solution
Yeah.
designed to help employees recognize sophisticated email phishing attacks through interactive training reinforced by continuous simulation. Transform your employees from a liability
We spent a lot of time
to a
talking about
line of
excellence
defense. Go
this
to
week.
barracuda.com/pl to learn more.
I used to post to job boards that sent me tons of resumes.
Just to find a few people.
Stop handing me things.
That old process was not smart. Then I went to ZipRecruiter.
The Union Athletic Department, Union Football Booster Club, and the Mama Skins would like to thank the following businesses for their contribution to Union Redskins football. Shipment Photography, Abuelos, Fox Cleaners, Dean Atchison, and Charlie's Chicken.
Never miss a moment of Union High School football. Download the KRMG app now. Available for Apple and Android.
Not a bad night for Peyton Thompson here at Union Tuttle Stadium. He's 7 of 7 for 214 yards and 5 touchdowns. And we have 7:50 to go in the second period. 49-0 Union. That drive, one play, 36 yards. It was A.J. Green who made the catch and then made two of the best players for Southmoore just fall around like rag dolls at the 20-yard line. And once again, Union will kick, this time from left to right. Rauschenberg, who might be getting tired, puts the leg to it, and it still goes about 5 yards deep, and Southmoore will take it there. We go down to the field, and our own Doc Blevins. Doc?
Well, one good thing you can say that's positive for Southmoore tonight is that we've already reached over a 30-point lead, so Kirk will be able to sub a little bit earlier. Also, if I've got it right, and I'm going to go double-check, if he throws one more touchdown pass tonight, that's the school record for passes in a game.
Yeah, for a single game. I think that is true, Doc. Now the question is, will he get a chance to play again? First and 10, Southmoore trailing 49-0 at their own 20, moving from right to left. Hand off to Durham from Scott, and he is pounded right at the 20-yard line. He may have gotten about a half yard. Most of that Union first-team defense is still in there, although that time it was not the first-teamer. It was Jacoby Gibbs, who was one of the first guys in. We're seeing quite a bit of substitution up front for the Redskins. Also in there on that defensive line, we're seeing Damari Beard and, Gage Wright, who shares a number with Noah Rauschenberg but is not built anything like him. Second down and 9 now for Southmoore. They'll be at their own 21-yard line. Their quarterback, who I feel for, Jaden Scott, doing what he can in the shotgun. Now motion from right to left. He's going to hand off on the inside. That goes to Mack, and he goes to the 24-yard line. Once again, he stood up. This time it was by Desmond McDaniels. That's a gain of about 5. Mark it at the 26, and it is a makeable 3rd and 4 now for the SaberCats.
It's a good hole on the left side of the field for the SaberCats. He had a good run. He had a good lead on the jet sweep, and that may be the way that they do it. Get some receivers involved in the run game and see if you can beat this Union defensive front on the outside as they start to get some subs in. But you still got Nick Jones in the game and Jacob Rogers. It's going to be tough for a little while.
Already see Southmoore taking a lot more time trying to let that clock run down. 3rd down and 4, their own 26 for Southmoore, trailing 49-0. Direct snap to Scott, and he is pounded. Lit up. Trey Thompson just tore him up. He's down at the 18-yard line. I am surprised Scott got up. Number 21 came in like a laser shot. That's a loss of 8, and it's going to be 4th and 12 for Southmoore.
The entire Southmoore offensive line turned around like they had just witnessed a
lookout
death
block
in the family.
Oh, my goodness.
And Nick Jones wasn't far behind him. If Trey had missed, Nick would have hit him maybe even harder.
I felt that up here. Once again, on to kick the ball away, the punter, Cameron Little. He gets this one away. It's going to be short. White's going to have to run up to make the catch and does at the 48. He's got the 45, 40, bit of a wall. 35, White at the 30, 25, 20, knocked out of bounds there. He might have made it to about the 22-yard line before he was knocked out of bounds. The guy that knocked him out there was Corey Callens. Where will they mark him? They mark him at the 21-yard line, so that's a fine return of 22 yards, and the Redskins already set up with 1st and 10 at Southmoore's 21, and they lead 49-0 with 5:51 to go in the first half.
And if there's one player that I feel for more than anyone else right now, it may be Cameron Little. He's doing a great job punting the ball. He's had some probably would have been 40-yard punts if they'd been fair caught, but his net average is getting killed by the Union return team.
Well, here comes the Union offense. Most of the first team at least one last time, and they may try to get Peyton Thompson this record. You're going to have 2 receivers to the left side. Shadle is out there, so is Pearson. Guy to the right side already has a touchdown tonight. That's Shavers. 1st and 10 Redskins. Thompson is back. Looks to his left to throw. Now looks to his right. Throws quickly to Darius Boone at the 20. Darius at the 15. Darius down inside the 10, but he cannot get past the 5. Oh, they were trying to get that touchdown pass. Darius Boone motors all the way down to the 5 before he is dragged down right there. Final tackle in there made by Cody Klima. That's good, though, for 17. It'll be 1st and goal Redskins now at the 7 of Southmoore with 5:28 to go here in the first half. Union leads 49-0, and there is a flag down.
That flag came in really, really late, way after the play at the 4-yard line where there were no Union players around. So I'm going to say it's either on the bench or on Southmoore.
Let's take a look. We'll get the call here just in a second from Robert Breedlove, our referee. He is fiddling with his microphone. Either that or he's looking for a throat lozenge in his pocket. I'm not sure which. Man, it's a pretty night out there. Here's the call. Personal foul late. He didn't say why. Personal foul, though. Unsportsmanlike against Southmoore. So that's half the distance from the 6 to the 3. Not like that hurt him an awful lot. But if you really are trying to get Peyton the record, throwing it in from the 3 is just a little bit harder, Jeff.
Well, so it is and it isn't, because all that Union's been doing right now in the throwing game is throwing these short passes and a couple of screens. So I'm sure they'll probably stick with the screen here. 1st and goal at the 3 for Union. Already up 49-0. 4:59 to go in the first half. Thompson in the shotgun. He's back to throw. Fires left side, and that ball is caught. Touchdown. Spencer Shadle. There's touchdown number 6, and there is the record for number 12. Peyton Thompson, admittedly, has not always been great this year. He's been a very steady player. He's not lost games for Union, but he has at times been a little misfiring and inconsistent. Tonight, he sets the record with his 6th touchdown pass, and he is perfect on the evening, as good as it gets. What a terrific night. 9 of 9, 232 yards, 6 touchdowns, and that one to Spencer Shadle. 55-0 Redskins. Rauschenberg on for the extra point. Pearson is ready. There's the snap. It's perfect. It's down. The kick is up, and once again bangs off the top of the UMAC. 4:50 to play here in the first half. 56-0 Redskins. This is Union football in KRMG.
Hi, I'm Jeff with Redbud Physical Therapy. I want to share some critical facts about the importance of receiving quality care.
Peyton
Did you know
Thompson
that
is
getting an MRI before
67%
engaging
on the
in
night,
physical
and
therapy
that's
can cost up to
scoring on
$5,000
passes.
more than if you would have started physical
67% of his
therapy.
throws are touchdowns.
Doc, I'm sure they're going to take him out, and if they do here in the last of the first half, you're welcome to talk to him on the air.
Visit redbudpt.com. Redbud has 15 locations across northeast Oklahoma to serve you. Redbud Physical
I like
Therapy is
Shadle got
excited
a
to be a
touchdown.
proud
That's
sponsor
nice.
I do
of
too.
Union
That kid.
Redskins.
Hey, Mom.
His
I
dad
found a
sat
way
next
for
to
you
me
to
at the
feel good
Benson
when you
Bank
buy
because he
stuff.
was working
Just
for the
move our
guys
checking
who
account
were
to TTCU.
running the Facebook
Every
Live
time
stuff.
you use your School Pride card, they donate to our
And
schools.
I've known his dad forever,
and
but didn't know
you
that
can
was
get
his dad.
$150 for
Right.
switching. So come on, Mom. Let's move to TTCU.
With approved credit, annual percentage yield for dividend-bearing accounts is 0.2% as of 6/1/18.
ones are
Checking
done.
account must be opened by
I would hope
10/31/18.
so.
Bonus requirements must be met within 60 business days of account
My dad's
opening.
hand's
Some
probably
restrictions
getting
apply.
tired now.
Federally insured by NCUA.
Shout out to your favorite player on the open mic on the KRMG app right now. And Rick Corey might even play it on the air. News 102.3 KRMG.
It's a banner night for the Union Redskins here at Union Tuttle Stadium. 56-0. They lead Southmoore, and there's 4:50 to go in the first half. Rick Corey, Jeff Johns, Richard Johns, Doc Blevins down in the field. We're going to see if Doc, I think that ones are probably done. We'll see if Doc can't get a word with Peyton Thompson after the 6th touchdown pass. We're pretty sure that sets a Union record. Stephen Forbes will be on to kick the ball off. Gaines is back deep for Southmoore, standing just by the in the Union logo on the in the end zone. Forbes kicks this thing along the ground. It's going to bounce, and Gaines will pick it up at about the 5-yard line. Here he comes to the 10. Gaines makes a move to the 15, but he won't go much further than that. He's going to go down right there. It was Keith Dorsey who was down there. They'll probably give him the 10. They might give him the 11. It'll be 1st and 10 for Southmoore right there, and there's not much they can do. 2-play, 21-yard drive took 1 minute. Shadle's 3-yard catch from Thompson is the 6th touchdown of the night. 8th possession, 1 first down, 13 total yards tonight for Southmoore. So it's not a good night so far for the SaberCats.
Yeah, and one of the nice things about what Forbes did on that kickoff is it's a squib, but it hit right in between the two upbacks, at about the 25-yard line and just dribbled long enough that by the time the return guy got a hand on it, Union's already there ready to take him down.
They will mark this thing at the 15, so they gave him a good return. 1st and 10, Southmoore. Scott in the shotgun. He'll fake the Durham and run to his right, and a really nice play up front by Dawson Prock. He didn't make the tackle, didn't finish it off. It was finished off inside by Gage Wright, but that's only a gain of 1. It'll be 2nd and 9.
It was a great play by the Union defense, sniffing out. The line did a good job moving to the right, watching the running back. And the linebackers did a great job. Michael Walker and Dawson Prock, like you said, just standing there and marking.
2nd and 9 for Southmoore. Now running to the left is Scott. He's being chased in the backfield. He'll get across the 15 up to about the 18. Josh Frederick was one of the first guys there. The big nose guard, and when I say big, this dude is huge. Day Evans in there. Look at him standing at the nose. He just dwarfs the Southmoore offensive line, and he was out there chasing Scott, surprising with that speed. That's a gain of 4. It'll be 3rd down and 6 now for Southmoore, trailing 56-0 with 3:49 to go here in the first half. Scott quickly in the shotgun again, 2 receivers to the either side. He turns and speaks to Durham, his running back, who's set directly behind him. Union is set. Scott has the snap, back, looks like he wants to throw, flows middle of the field, and it's caught and then dropped. Oh boy, right in the breadbasket. It hit Caden Easterwood in the hands. The coverage wasn't bad. Prock was back there near him, but he should have caught that. He just didn't. It falls incomplete. Now 4th and 6 from Southmoore, and unfortunately for them, that stops the clock at 3:30 to go first half.
Absolutely, and it looked like Devian Palmer got his left hand inside just as the catch was being made. So kudos to him getting a ball pop out of there. But you're right, Southmoore receiver should have secured it as soon as he caught it.
Cameron Little will kick this ball away again. How many punts is this? This is 9, isn't it? I think this is his 9th punt tonight. This one will be short. Braden White will run up and make the catch and drops it. Ball's on the ground. Frederick recovers. Oh boy, that is a terrific play by Josh Frederick. That's heads up as Braden White, who's not returned a lot of kicks this year, just had a hard time misjudging that one a little bit. There's no wind out here tonight, but kind of like a center fielder, he kind of got lost. He was able to jump back forward, but Frederick falls on it, and it's Union's football at their own 46-yard line, leading 56-0 with 3:20 to go here in this first half.
Come to me.
The lights get in your way. There are all sorts of disadvantages, and I'm not sure exactly what it was there. Maybe just inexperience.
We'll get down the dock here just after this first play. Union will bring out Trent DeSmet. He will be at quarterback. I love to see this. This is a guy I love to watch play. Jalen Smith's going to be the running back, and this dude runs angry. 1st and 10 for Union at their own 46-yard line. DeSmet in the shotgun. To his left is Jalen. Hands off to Jalen. He was across the 45, across the 50, and just ripping and roaring down to the 47-yard line before Andre Bellows got him down. That's a gain of 6 down to Doc Blevins.
Well, you were talking about Braden being kind of like a center fielder. Actually, he is an outfielder, and that's probably his future is in baseball. And he catches him there, but, you know, nobody's trying to run and tackle him while he's doing it.
That is exactly right. Gain of 6, 2nd down and 4 for the Redskins, now at the 48-yard line of Southmoore. DeSmet again in the shotgun with 3 receivers. Now one goes in motion. That's White. He'll fake the White and hand off inside to Jalen, and he busts across the 45-yard line. Has the first down to around the 41-yard line. Guy just got him by the toes, and I mean by the toes, and the guy that made that play was Cameron Collins. He might have stopped 6, but it's a first down, now Union at the 41 of Southmoore.
So now I'm going to go just to the play right before that when Jalen Smith was carrying a couple of defenders. Donovan Gaines, who's not a small guy, 5'11", 190, he got a hand on him and could not bring him down without help.
1st and 10, Redskins now at the 41 of Southmoore. It's 56-0 Union with 2 minutes to play in this half. He'll hand off to Jalen again across the 45, cuts back to the 35, down inside that to the 33-yard line. Jalen Smith is just a workhorse here. Several people on that tackle once again that was led by Cameron Collins, but that's another gain of 8, 2nd and 2 Redskins.
It's 3 times now that they've faked to Braden White on that jet sweep. He's not a slow guy. And they haven't given it to him. They keep giving to Jalen Smith. So I bet next time he comes across, they're going to hand it to him. He might go for 6.
Avery goes wide to the left. Braden comes to the right. The other guy with him out here is Jaleen Brown. 2nd and 2 for the Redskins. Once again, DeSmet in the shotgun. Hands once again to Jalen, who cuts back across the 30. No, didn't get quite across the 30. Got to the 31. That was a really nice tackle right there. He looked like he might be able to pull away, but he could not break that final tackle. And the guy that brought him down was Brian Shamali. They're going to make that a first down, though, so the Redskins move the change. 1st and 10 at Southmore's 31, leading 56-0 with 1:25 to go here in the first half. Quickly, once again, to the line of scrimmage. Brown again to the right, 2 receivers to the left, to Smith in the backfield. Tight end left side. They're going to pitch inside this time to White. He comes to the right side at the 30, gets to the 25, cuts back 20. He's inside that to the 15, still pulling guys with him. Whoa, Southmoore had 3 people a hold of Braden White, and none of them can get him down. Final tackle finally made in there by Joe Stover, but that's good for 17 and another first down for Union. Now it's Southmoore's 14.
Well, Braden White came across on that jet sweep, and they handed it to him. But Southmoore was a little bit more prepared for him. It really didn't matter, though. 5, 6 guys trying to get a handle on him, and no one can bring him down.
First and 10, Redskins now at the 14 of Southmoore, trying to add to the 56-0 lead inside a minute to go first half. Handoff right side. Jalen to the right, to the 5, to the 3, to the end zone. Is he in? Touchdown! Oh, Jalen Smith, his second touchdown of the year. That's good for 14 yards. He cut back at the 10, just gave a guy enough hip that he could get past him and drag the last man into the end zone. It's 62-0 Union.
Jalen Smith just makes it look easy. When he runs up the middle, he runs hard. He brings guys with him. He falls forward. He gets 2 extra yards every down. And when he runs to the outside, he's got enough speed to where it's really difficult to stop him no matter where he moves the ball.
Rauschenberg on once again for the extra point. The kick is up, and the kick is good. 49 seconds to go in the half. It is now 63-0 Union over Southmoore. This is Redskins football on KRMG.
This is a great time of year for new ideas.
All right, Mike, where
and
are
we
we
have
on
an idea that we
Schmatz?
call the Big 100 Sales.
Union fans, we have a new school record on the previous drive when Peyton Thompson threw the touchdown pass to Spencer Shadle. That was his 6th, which broke the school record for most touchdown passes.
At least we don't have the stupid security door in between us.
Yeah, who wants to be safe?
Chevy in Broken Arrow, and see us in person. Exit 145 off the VA.
Chevy, find new roads.
Restrictions apply. See dealer for details.
You're listening to the flagship station of Union High School football, News 102.3 KRMG.
Well, it's been pretty easy so far. 63-0 Union, and we still have 49 seconds to play here in the first half as they lead the Southmoore SaberCats. Rick Corey, Jeff Johns, Richard Johns down on the field, Doc Blevins. He's going to talk to our ball boys for his halftime interview, which I think is really cool. He had them lined up last week, but every gremlin made known to man in electronics was with us last week in Norman, and he could not do so. Kickoff by Forbes goes through the end zone on the left side, so he'll have those guys with him tonight. The touchdown drive by the second team, 6 plays, 54 yards, took 2 minutes and 30 seconds. Jalen Smith's 14-yard run, his second score on the year, makes it 63-0. Jeff, we'll take a look at some other scores. Putnam North and Mustang locked up at 7 apiece. Moore and Owasso in a good one at the half. Owasso leading 17-14. Jinx also at the half, leading Santa Fe 21-0. It's Yukon over Enid 28-0. Union, of course, here leading, as I mentioned. It's also Norman North leading 14-12 over Edmond North. And Westmore leads Norman by a score of 28-20. Here comes Southmoore for what should be the last possession of this half. 49 seconds to go. 63-0 Union. Scott will hand off, and breaking free is Durham. He's across the 30, across the 35, gets up to the 40-yard line. Union finally able to drag him down. The tackle in there made by Joe Shields. Joe Shields made that tackle, but that'll like triple Southmoore's offensive output for the night as they go all the way to their 40-yard line, a 20-yard run. It'll be 1st and 10 there. Scott will hand off again to Durham, and this time he won't get nearly as much. He kind of had to shuck one tackler in the backfield. That was Dawson Prock, and by the time he shook that one, he looked up, and Michael Walker was standing there, and he thumped him in the chest for no gain, 2nd and 10.
And just in between those two downs, Michael Walker, if you're not watching it, you won't see that he had a little talking to with his defensive lineman real quick, said, hey, we're not opening up these holes.
Should be the last play of the half. 2nd and 10 for Southmoore. They'll hand off once again. This time they hand the ball to the right side to Tavion Woodard, who gets taken down for a gain of about 1, and that will end the half. So here at Union Tuttle Stadium, next to the last regular season game of the year, the game Union needed to clinch the division title. I think it's clinched. 63-0 Redskins at the half. Back with our halftime in a moment. This is Union football on KRMG.
You know, our Jimmy John's new
Dodgers
9-grain wheat
scored
sub.
1-0.
Got 2 minutes here.
Freak, yeah, it does. And he
They
left
have
it to
no
be
chance
grain
to win the
lacking
series. The
anymore.
Red Sox are.
Charles Pizarra and Danny Cole, with assistance from Chelsea Arenas, Adam Bruce, Marianne French, Adrian Gomez, Mary Lawless, Amy Mays, Matt McCready, and Trey Pridner. Technical assistance is provided by staff members Sarah Abu Saleh, Justin Arenas, Tim Barty, Abby Bruce, Joe Falvey, Grace Probst, Iman Shogi, Travis Smith, Jarrett Stites, and Emily Strother. The Renegade Regiment's 2018 competitive program is entitled Prevailing Winds and features music by Hans Zimmer, James Stevenson, Trent Reznor, and Oscar Navarro. And now, ladies and gentlemen, please join me in welcoming drum majors Haley Riggins, Arendira Salvador, Sailor Hampton, Emily Wynn, and Emma Plunkett, and the Union High School Renegade Regiment. its 2018 competitive season, concluding with triumphant performances at the Bands of America Indianapolis Super Regional Championship last weekend and the OSSAA Marching State Contest in Tahlequah earlier this week. And now, as we say goodbye to the 2018 competitive season, let's welcome to the field the future of the Renegade Regiment. From the class of 2023, the Union 8th grade bands and color guard. The 8th grade bands consist of over 150 students performing in 2 concert ensembles and a color guard ensemble. And combined with all high school band members, the stadium is filled tonight with over 500 Union band and guard students in grades 8 through 12. Now, on your feet, please, Redskin fans, as your Union Band and Guard perform your Union High School fight song. For all these talented and hard-working Union Band and Guard members.
Every time you use your school pride card, TTCU donates to our school.
With approved credit, annual percentage yield for dividend-bearing accounts is 0.2% as of 6/1/18. Checking account must be opened by 10/31/18. Bonus requirements must be met within 60 business days of account opening. Some restrictions apply. Federally insured by NCUA.
So make the switch and make a difference.
This is a great time of year for new ideas. And we had an idea that we... Biggest savings of the year.
Plus, at the all-new Jim Norton Chevy in Broken Arrow, you always get a lifetime engine warranty at no extra charge.
Come on, Tulsa, who does all that?
Log on at JimNortonChevy.com
Come to me
for all
for
the
an important
details.
announcement.
Here's an even better idea. Hurry right now to the all-new
I'm
Jim
sorry,
Norton
did I
Chevy
get
in
through?
Broken
Yeah.
Arrow
Yeah, I
and
got
see
it.
us in
Okay.
person. Exit 145 off the VA.
Chevy, find new roads.
Restrictions apply. See dealer for details.
At Classic Chevrolet, we believe in keeping it simple when it comes to buying a car. Log on to ClassicChevrolet.net. Find the car you want. Message us. Make us an offer. Then find out what your car is worth. Get approved for financing. Come see us. Sign the papers and drive your new car home today. It's that simple. We don't want to just sell you a car. We want to help you buy a car. Classic Chevrolet in Owasso, where a handshake matters. Online at ClassicChevrolet.net.
Miss a moment of Union High School football. Download the KRMG
Kickoff goes into the end zone for a touchback. Ball will be placed at the 20-yard line. That's where Southmoore takes over.
Kickoff from Stephen Forbes goes
First
out the
and
back
10.
of the end zone. It will be 1st and 10 for the Southmoore SaberCats at their own 20-yard line, moving left to right as we begin the third period. Quickly down to the field, and Doc Blevins for an important announcement. What do you have, Doc?
You may have already known it, but I confirmed with Coach Frederick there will be a running clock this half.
I appreciate that. Thank you very much. And that is it's just the humane thing to do, quite honestly. So we begin the second half. Once again, the quarterback, Jaden Scott, in the shotgun. Throws quickly to his right. That ball caught by Corbin Paget. He'll go across the 25-yard line. He'll be taken down right there. A lot of second-teamers in there for Union. That tackle made by Jeremy Yates, the linebacker. It's good for 6. It'll be second down and about, well, we're going to make it 5. Second down and about 5 now for Southmoore. Quickly back to the line of scrimmage. 2 receivers either side for Gaines. Durham is the setback next to him. He's going to fake to Gaines. No, he hands to Gaines on the right side, and he got swallowed. Gaines got nowhere. He may have lost a yard. Josh Peoples was the guy in there. He'd lost 2. They'll mark him back at the 23, and it'll be 3rd down and 7 for Southmoore here in this third period as we begin.
Yeah, I thought they were going to get their second first down of the game there. They're starting to move the ball. Third first down of the game. Starting to move the ball a little bit, but Josh Peoples, man, just lit him up in the backfield.
So it's going to be 3rd down and about 8 now. Scott once again in the shotgun. Fires quickly to his left, and that ball to Mack, and oh my, it's incomplete, and he got spanked. Davion Palmer lit him up. You know, if that's college football, that's probably a targeting call. He went a little bit up underneath his chin, but it falls incomplete. The clock will continue to run anyway because that's what we'll do here in the second half. And it'll be 4th down and 6 now for Southmoore at their own 24-yard line. They'll kick it. Once again, the guy in to kick it who's just been so busy tonight. Their kicker, I almost feel sorry for this kid. He has been out there, Little has been out there about, this is his 10th? Yeah, his 10th kick of the night. This one's going to go to Braden White. Very nice high kick that turns over. White with a fair catch at the 43-yard line of Union, and the Redskins will take it there. So it'll be 1st and 10 Union as we begin this third quarter. They're already up 63-0, trying to add to that number.
And Jacob Bajek, obviously we didn't get the block punt on that, but Jacob Bajek was really, really close. If he'd hustled maybe a little bit faster, and I'm sure Coach was saying, hey, just let them get this one off. But he crashed through and knocked the blocker flat on his back.
Once again, Trent DeSmet will come out at quarterback again. Jalen Smith will be his running back. 3 receivers, Brown wide to the right. White is out there with him as well. Kenneth Avery here to the left side. The tight end on this left side as well for Union. Nope, they're missing the tight end. Here he comes now. It should have been out there. Now they'll bring him out. It's Alonzo Villanueva. He'll be in the short slot left side. High snap. They get it down and hand it to Jalen. He's across the 45-yard line. Not much more than that, though. Cody Klima got a hold of him right there. Gain of 3. It'll be 2nd and 7.
Looks like we got Matthew Harker out there on the offensive line, making a good block over there on the right side. Jack Harris and Alex Slaughter over here on the left side. I'm going to try to make as many moms happy as I can tonight, but we're going to be running a lot of subs in.
Again, Jalen Brown, one of the guys in there, is going to be one of the receivers. He'll be out far to the right. That is where he has been. He's going to head that way again. Kenneth Avery here to the left, and again, Braden White out to the right as well. So 3 total receivers. Jalen Smith now shifts to the left side of Trent DeSmit. Villanueva goes in motion. They'll hand inside to Jalen again, and he's going to bust forward across the 45. Not much more than that. Got to about the 47-yard line. Pardon me. That was Donovan Gaines. Made the tackle, who came in here, Jeff, with a bunch of tackles, but tonight it's been pretty quiet. It'll be 3rd down and 6 Union. They'll be at their own 47. They'll need the 47 of Southmoore for the first down.
It's hard to make a lot of tackles when almost every play the first string makes is a touchdown. So I think we'll start to see some of these Southmoore players that have been a star throughout the season for them make a few more tackles and look like what they have the first part of the season.
Let's see if they can make one right here. 3rd and 6 Union again at their own 47-yard line. Villanueva goes in motion, whistles blow. I think that was probably a motion against Union. It will be. The Redskins at first celebrated, but that won't help. They're going to back them up 5 yards, and it'll end up being now 3rd and 11. This will take the ball back to the Union 42. They need all the way to the 47 of Southmoore for the first down. We're in the 3rd period. Union leading 63-0. We have now a running clock.
So it looks like we've got Jacob Fuller out on the far side of the offensive line, then Jameer Ward, Matthew Harker at the center, Jack Harris, and who did I say, Slaughter on the outside on the near side.
And we will keep track of those for the moms and dads. Here we go, 3rd down and 11 for Union at their own 43. DeSmet in the shotgun. Villanueva to his right. DeSmet throws to the right. That ball is caught at the 50-yard line. Brown gets to about the 49 of Southmoore, but that's as far as he goes. Mack will make the title. So that's a gain of 8, but it'll bring up a 4th down and 3. And this is the first punt of the night for Union, is it not, Richard? It is. Stephen Forbes will run out there, and Stephen has been very good lately. He'll be kicking from around his own 35-yard line. Gaines will go back deep. If Stephen gets the kind of foot in it he did during warm-ups, he may knock this thing into the end zone. He's now standing around his own 36-yard line. Union will snap the ball almost dead center at midfield, just above the split U. Gaines standing back at his 15. High snap, but he got it down. Stephen Forbes just kicked the snot out of that thing. It is high. It's going to land at the 10, and it's going to take a roll inside that, and Union will down it at around the 5, inside that to the 4, and that's where it's going to go, to the 4-yard line. Down at the 4-yard line by Caleb Kalo, but a wonderful punt in there from Stephen Forbes. That one's going to go 45 yards, and Southmoore will take it at their own 4-yard line, trailing 63-0 here in the 3rd period.
The coaches are going to have a talk with Caleb Kalo. It's a good job of him getting down there quickly. The ball was still rolling when he picked it up, and you get 1 more yard out of that. I mean, you give the ball as much as you can. Don't just run in there and watch where you're going, because it almost hit him on the way down. You got to be careful.
So Southmoore will take it at their own 4-yard line. Jaden Scott, their quarterback, will have Durham behind him. 4 receivers, 2 to either side. Quick handoff to Durham on the left side, and he pushes forward for about a yard. He may have gotten the 3, and they may actually give him the 4, so he didn't get anything. He got almost got about 0. That's going to be a gain of about nothing. Tackle in the middle right there by Damari Beard, and it'll be 2nd down. We're going to call it 2nd and actually he lost a yard. Boy, they're going to call it 2nd and 11 now, back at the 3. Scott standing in the end zone in the shotgun. That's an uncomfortable place to be. Turns, hands to his left, and taken down in the end zone for a safety. Durham got that ball a yard deep, and Damari Beard was there as soon as the ball was. Oh my, that's a safety, and Union extends the lead to 65-0. And Damari Beard just ran through there like there was nobody back there, Jeff.
He absolutely did. He was, in fact, unblocked because, let's see, we've got 97. So that's Damari Beard, and then we have Jacoby Gibbs and Gage Wright. And when you have the 2 of those guys in, they're the next guys up for Union. And when they fill up 3 different, he doesn't even take a block. You can't see it when you're listening, but Jacob Bajek is holding 3 offensive linemen trying to block him. It makes it so easy for Gibbs to get through the line and make that safety.
And that was an easy play right there for the Redskins. Now up by a score of 65-0. They haven't put the 2 up on the scoreboard yet, but they need to. 4.5 to go, 3rd period. A running clock here now as Union will clinch the district title tonight, and that will assure them of a first-round home game. They'll play the number 4 team from the other side. We'll get more into playoff picture next week when Union closes out the year against Edmond North here. An Edmond North team, by the way, that lost to this Southmoore team. So we may also end up with a running clock to start next week. It could be that way. So punting from his own 20-yard line will be Little once again, unless they choose to kick this thing off the tee, but I don't think they will. No, they are. They're going to kick this ball off the tee, and that surprises me a little bit. You'd think they'd punt this thing away, but instead they will put it down, and their kicker, Ryan Huerta, actually, no, Cameron Little's going to go ahead and kick it. So he's kicking from his 20. Union's returner is Braden White, and I think that's McLeod, or back up around the 35-yard line of Union, but I think he'll kick it shorter than that, maybe around midfield.
I think it's A.J. Green out there.
Oh, A.J., you're right. He sets far to the right. Now he comes up, and this ball is going to be popped straight up in the air. Union will actually let it bounce, and they better hurry to get on it, or Southmoore will, and Southmoore does. The Redskins misplayed that poorly. Southmoore jumped on the football, and it will be Southmoore's ball. They recover it. Caden Easterwood did at around the 37-yard line. And that's just a bad job by that up-back team at Union. The guy who probably should have dropped back and I think grabbed that football was Caleb Kalo, who just let it go over his head.
You're right, and Braden White ran up to it. So
tried to get there, but he couldn't.
And so it went over 2 guys' heads. It was just, it's poorly played, and we've seen probably 2 or 3 different mishaps from the special teams unit. They've got to get better at that going into playoffs.
So it'll be 1st and 10 for Southmoore. Now at Union's 39-yard line. This is the deepest they've been in Union territory. Scott will fake that ball to the right side and take off, and he is hit and stacked up. He got maybe back to the line of scrimmage. The first person there was Ryan Harris. He could not hold on, but the guys behind him finished him off. Included in that group were Ziah Dorn. It'll be 2nd down. We'll give him a yard and make it 2nd and 9. We'll mark the ball at Union's 38.
Well, they started the play. Chris Wilson got the handoff, looked to the left, and Josh Peoples was not fooled by the fake handoff. So they, immediately had to go back to the right side of the field, and there were a host of Redskins waiting for him.
4 receivers once again for Scott. Behind him in the running back, this time it's going to be Chris Wilson. He's going to hand off to Wilson on the left side. He jumps inside a blocker at the 35-yard line. Finally corralled and taken down at around the 32-yard line. The tackle in there made by Tristan Wolfer. But he got about 6, maybe a 7. We'll call it 3rd down now and about 3 for Southmoore at the 32 of Union. 1:44 to go, 3rd period, 65-0 Redskins. Here we go on the 3rd down play. Scott back to throw, throws left side, that ball's dropped. Oh, he right in his hands. He had a receiver out there. He hit Caden Wickersham straight in the hands, and Wickersham just flat dropped it. So it's going to be 4th down and about 4 to go now. For Southmoore, the ball is going to be set at the Union 33-yard line. They need the 29. Southmoore's going to go for it. Scott once again in the shotgun with Wilson behind him. He throws quickly to his left side. Ball caught out there by Paget. He skips forward across the 30-yard line, down inside to the 27, and that is a SaberCats 1st down. So Southmoore will move the football here as we have a minute to play in this 3rd period. Union up 65-0. They never put the safety on the scoreboard.
No, and apparently they're not going to be adding to the scoreboard.
All righty, so the scoreboard's going to stay the same. Scott will fake it, run to his left. He gets across the 20-yard line, down to around the 18-yard line. Union will gang tackle him there. It's a nice play by Scott, though, jumping inside a couple of tacklers. One of the final guys on the tackle out there, Damari Beard. That's a good gain of 7, 2nd down and 3.
Joe Shields gave him a pretty good lick when he got through to him, too, so he may think before going to that side of the field.
28 seconds to go, 3rd period. As you heard, Union score no matter what. If they score, it won't be added to the scoreboard. Scott is back again and fires that ball well over the head to the left side of Paget. So it will be 3rd down now and about 3. The ball set at Union's 23-yard line. You know, I know that they turned the scoreboard off here quickly. I've never heard of a score not being added to the score, but
and I suppose that's the humane thing to do.
It is.
But for these 2nd and 3rd string guys, you want to score and see your score go on the board too. I don't know. I could go both ways on that one.
I kind of understand where they're coming from, but, you know, it is a game, and you play it for a reason to learn from it. That'll be the end of the 3rd period. It went by quickly for a reason. Union now up 65-0 over Southmoore. This is Redskins football on KRMG.
Wade.
Union fans, don't forget to watch the Union Football Coaches Show. Each week, Coach Fred and KRMG's Rick Corey review the game with an entire playback of what you see tonight, as well as game stats and player interviews. Check out the Union website for links to the show, as well as showtimes on Cox Cable. That's www.unionps.org.
Friends at Ferguson Subaru. The 2019 Subaru Foresters have arrived and they are loaded with more safety. Now let's face it, there's a lot of distractions when you're driving these days. And the all-new 2019 Foresters have features like blind spot detection, eyesight, driver assist, and my favorite,
he probably
the rear
had the
vision
first
camera,
down
which
if he
helps
just
me
kept
avoid
moving
hitting things when I'm backing up. Plus, Subaru combines the technology of Apple CarPlay and Android Auto with an available 8-inch touchscreen. And all Subaru
Jacoby Gibbs on the stop for Union.
Stop by Ferguson today and see the all-new 2019 Forester. Or if you're looking for big savings, it's $750 trade assistance on any remaining 2018 Foresters. Subaru, the best all-wheel drive leader for Oklahoma's wet, dry snow or ice. Ferguson Subaru, just off the BA at the Elm Place exit across from Bass Pro. Or find them at fergusonsubaru.com.
Ball is kept by Jaden Scott. Gain of 3 on the play. First down, Southmoore.
You're listening to the flagship station of Union. News 102.3 KRMG.
Two quick running plays by Jalen Scott get a first down for the Southmoore Sabercats as we begin the fourth period here at Union Tuttle Stadium. 65-0 Redskins. Southmoore trying to score. Scott in the shotgun, 4 receivers at the 14-yard line. He flips it out to the right side. That ball is caught out there. His big tight end, and I mean big tight end, is Cameron Braden. He's also a linebacker, weighs in around 250 pounds. That's good for about 5 yards and a first down. Union running a bunch of different players out there. That tackle made by Gavin Kohler, a linebacker. It's good for 5. It'll be 2nd and 5, ball now at the 9 of a Union. Scott again in the shotgun. There's the snap. He's going to fake and run off to the right by himself. He's down to the 5, down inside that to the 4, to the 3. He's not going to get in the end zone. Pretty big pile up there at the 3-yard line. A lot of Redskins up off the bottom of that pile. Kagan King is one of those.
King's been in on 2 tackles now.
Yeah. Isaiah Dom is another one of those guys. That's going to be a first down and now 1st and goal for Southmoore at Union's 2. Scott will bring him back up. Redskins have a goal of no fourth quarter touchdown. It's going to be tough here. Scott has one running back behind him. That's Wilson. Scott takes the snap. He tries to hand to Wilson, then keeps it himself and steps into the end zone. One player had a shot at him at about the 3. That was Josh Peoples, and he couldn't quite hang on. So with 9:30 to play here in this third period, Southmoore for the first time tonight gets on the board. Southmoore now trailing 65-6. And, you know, Jeff, when you look at Southmoore on offense coming into this game, this isn't unusual. Their average rush, 78 yards a game. They average 78 yards a game. They average throwing for 60. They only average 137 yards and 12 points per game. So you knew coming in this was a team that had a problem scoring. For them, that's got to be a good thing that they did get a score. Ryan Huerta comes in for the extra point, and it's good. So with 9:05 to go and counting here in the fourth period, Union now up 65-7. That 7 will go on the scoreboard, and the Redskins will get the kickoff. This is Union Football and KRMG.
Hi, this is Matt McCoy.
Who's our
As
third
many of you
quarterback?
know, I've been on some winning teams my entire career. I'm now on another winning team, State Farm Insurance. For the first 50 Redskin fans who stop by my office and let us give you a quote, we will give you a free...
Special thanks tonight to Andy Irwin and the UView crew. The UView crew is made up of Union High School students who shoot the video you see on the scoreboard and on the Union Football Coaches Show. Thanks, UView crew.
At 81st and 129th. We look forward to meeting you.
At Classic Chevrolet, we believe in keeping it simple when it comes to buying a car. Log on to ClassicChevrolet.net. Find the car you want. Message us. Make us an offer. Then find out what your car is worth. Get approved for financing. Come see us. Sign the papers and drive your new car home today. It's that simple. We don't want to just sell you a car. We want to help you buy a car. Classic Chevrolet in Owasso. Yes, sir. Matters. Online at ClassicChevrolet.net.
Hi, I'm Jeff with Redbud Physical Therapy. I want to share some clinical facts.
Okay, on the depth chart, they list Jake Miller as 3rd and Gage as 4th. 19.
$5,000 more than if you would have started physical
He
therapy.
could look like, that could easily look like 10.
Therapy within 14 days of an injury. You could When you're in need of physical therapy, visit redbudpt.com. Redbud has 15 locations across northeast Oklahoma to serve you. Redbud Physical Therapy is excited to be a proud sponsor of the Union Redskins.
It goes beyond paint and sheet metal. The skill and precision and pride everyone at Action Auto Collision takes in their work. From helping with insurance to making your wrecked car not only look new, but drive new is nothing short of incredible. Action Auto Collision is a proud sponsor of Union High School football.
Come to me when you get
Action
back, whenever
Auto
it's
Collision,
convenient.
Just south.
All right. Here we go, gentlemen.
Yeah, thank you.
For exceptional service, call 918-252-0411.
This is the home of Union High School football. News 102.3 KRMG.
Back at Union Tuttle Stadium, Rick Corey, Jeff Johns, Richard Johns, and Doc Levins. We'll get down the dock here in just a minute. An 11-play, 60-yard drive. Took 2 minutes and 47 seconds for Southmoore. They finally get the touchdown from Scott of a 2-yard run, the extra point good, and it was 6.5 to go here in this game. They trail 65-7 to Union. Down quickly to Doc Levins. Doc, what's happening?
Well, last week I could not come to you to tell you a record was broken, and I don't know if we mentioned it tonight, but from now on, every extra point Noah kicks will be a new career record for a Union kicker. He broke it last week, and I'm not sure what the number is, but he extended it a few tonight.
Let's just say that you'd have to take off your shoes to count that high, so would I. 6 minutes to go here in this game. Now 3rd down and 8 for Union after 2 runs up the middle by Avante Wilkins, the young running back who is a junior. Trent DeSmet will bring them back up to the 36-yard line. It'll be 3rd down and about 8 right there for Union. DeSmet hands off once again to Wilkins, and he'll go forward. He's got, well, not to the 40. Didn't quite get the first down. Nice job to get back to the 40-yard line, though. There was a lot of folks there. Parker Mollet made that final tackle. It'll be 4th down now and about 3 for Union. They're at their 40. They need the 43 for the first down, and instead here comes Stephen Forbes to punt. Going back deep is Donovan Gaines, who is a fine football player for this Southmoore team. Just hadn't had many opportunities tonight.
A couple of new names to mention that have gone in there at the end of that series. Ethan Paul, a receiver. Hunter Cawley looked like he was playing a tight end position. And Vinay Patel, who was our first Heart of a Redskin Award winner, going and making some good blocks.
Forbes has the punt in his hands, or pardon me, the snap, kicks this thing, and it's going to bounce a little short. And the guy who was just run the ball, Avante Wilkins, is the guy right down there next to it. He just avoided having it hit him, and it goes all the way down to the 14-yard line of Southmoore. That's a 46-yard kick. Stephen Forbes has been really good lately. We'll take a quick break. 65-7 Union. This is Redskins football on KRMG.
Hello? Hello again, sir. This is the
Hello.
What am I doing here?
Tell me where this puts us.
That is, this is the double that normally plays between the 3rd and 4th. So you're behind a bit.
We're like Abraham Lincoln.
How much?
Abraham Lincoln. Yes, there's a little fade.
Well, you're behind about 4 minutes, looks like.
I'm pretty sure it's not a bird.
I think I know what it is, sir. When a seal on a double pane
probably
window is
take one
broken,
more
you
and
get
we'll end up
strange
blowing the game
images. I
down
had the
3
same
minutes
problem,
so
except. Well, we'll make it up in the post game, whatever.
How did you,
We called Robinson Glass. They came out and fixed it, and a couple of other broken windows and some screens.
Turn off your mic.
They even fixed our sash balance.
What's a sash balance?
It's the counterweight.
Ball is headed off to Tavion.
Slamming down on your fingers. You learn a lot of new work.
Loss of 2 on the play. Brings up 2nd and 12.
Turn off your mic.
For Southmoore. Joe Cleary on the stop for Union.
No birds were harmed in the making of this commercial. They were all pretend birds.
Catch every moment of Union football on KRMG.com, the KRMG app, and News 102.3 KRMG.
Well, there were some Sabercat feelings harmed here tonight. 65-7, Union leads here in the 4th period with about 3.5 minutes to go here at Union Tuttle Stadium. A 2nd down and 12, and Scott takes the snap and goes straight up the middle. More of a wildcat almost than it was a quarterback play. He gets to around the 17-yard line. It'll be 3rd down and 9 for Southmoore. Moving from right to left with 3 minutes left to go here in this game. And Union with more wholesale changes. Here comes more defensive players. Let's start naming some other guys. Running out there is Braxton Tempest. He's going to play a little bit. Running back out once again is Di Evans. Who else do we see out there?
We got Cameron Sanders,
Luke Raper
Christian
out there
Holbert.
as well. That is Nate Raper's little brother, I would bet you. On that tackle right there was Jeridius Evans, a linebacker. We haven't heard from an awful lot this year. Just some of the guys that are out there now for Union. Let's see, who else do I see out there?
Caleb Kalo, we mentioned him earlier.
Yeah, I think that is David Romero. He's going to play a little defensive back. Joe Shields out there as well. Now Braden White will run out to return the kick as it's now 4th down and 8 after a gain of nothing by Scott. 2:29 to go in this game, 65-7 Union. And once again, Little will kick this thing away. There's the snap. It's a good one. Little gets the foot into it. It is a high spinning kick, a very nice kick, and Braden goes back and makes the fair catch at Union's 45-yard line. So we should be within about 5 or 6 snaps of having this thing over with. We'll take a quick break ourselves. Union up 65-7. This is Redskins football on KRMG.
Hi, I'm Frank Trigg.
One
Being an athlete,
and no liners.
professional fighter, and I was stuck.
You got it.
Demanding. But right now, I feel at the top
Jay
of
Evans
game.
almost got to that
After
ball on the
trying to
punt.
fight in my late 30s, I was
He is
gained from old injury,
giant.
gained a ton of weight, and lost
Do you have that
motivation.
long list that has
At
everyone's
Universal
weights
Men's
on it too,
Clinic,
Dad?
I met with Dr. Arakaki and learned that men like me with physically demanding or stressful jobs.
Hey, I do need to slip an ID in here.
Go right ahead.
My visit got me back on the right track. I started being active
Jay
again,
Evans is
playing with my kids
6'3",
more, and now I feel better
315
and more
pounds.
focused.
Big boy.
Hi, I'm Dr. Arakaki. If you have an active
Ball is handed
lifestyle
off
of
to
physical
Jalen
demands
Smith.
like first
64,
responders
I
or
like him.
construction workers,
No
know
gain
that
on the
you're at
play.
risk
Jacob
Brings up
Fuller.
2nd and 10 for
6'1",
Union.
330.
Increase your strength or improve your performance. We can help.
Call Universal Men's Clinic at 918-488-0000.
Who's running the
That's
ball?
918-488-0000. Or visit universalmensclinic.com.
From the Ferguson Buick GMC Studios, KRMG FS Sand Springs, KRMG Tulsa.
1 minute to go here at Union Tuttle Stadium as the Redskins lead 65-7 over Southmoore. Rick Horry, Jeff Johns, Richard Johns, and Doc Levens. Now a flag flies after a first down run by Jalen Smith. Gains about 1 yard. That, if it stands without the penalty, would make it 2nd down and 9 for Union around their own 46-yard line. And I'm not sure. It's easy to get chippy out there when you're trailing like this. For Southmoore, not quite sure who that's going to go against as the officials are talking. They're going to call a personal foul against the SaberCats. So that will move the ball from the Union 44-yard line all the way to about the 41-yard line of Southmoore.
And by the way, it's not going to get easier for them to get through this Union defensive or offensive line. They've got one guy out there is Jacob Fuller, who is 6'1", 330 pounds. So, Mama Fuller, you're feeding your boy something good.
There were not going to be another play here. Union wanted to get one off, and they will not do it. The clock will tick to 0. So that will do it here in game number 9 as the Redskins are district champions. Union 65, Southmoore 7. Back with postgame next. This is KRMG.
Start your morning off the right way.
Yes, it is.
Update driven by Primo Mitsubishi in Bixby. Listen live during the KRMG Morning News with Dan Pop.
I'll be nice if you give me 3 here.
It's 102.3 and AM 740. And come see us at PrimoMitsubishi.com.
Pro Sprinkler is a proud sponsor of Getting Real with Pastor Dixie
And last
on
week, after
KRMG
nothing but
every
trouble,
Sunday morning, where they discuss
the
real problems
Comrex
and real life
was
issues.
just
The
rock
pros
solid,
at Pro
huh?
Sprinkler have the expertise and
Yeah, not even a bobble.
drainage problems, making your home more beautiful
I
and
just don't understand.
eliminating
Every high
costly
school football
damage. Pro
stadium should
Sprinkler
be
can help
forced to have
design and
an
install
Ethernet
new
connection. It's not
irrigation
that damn
systems,
expensive.
repair existing systems, and can help you winter out
Absolutely.
damage. Winter is just around the corner.